This girl is wise Soel-Ah, but who would have thought she is the personal disciple of the sword master. Holding the power of life and death in his hands can kill hundreds of demons. With just one slash. Divine sword wise Soel-Ah, the one that slain the demonic. The one who caused the great war between good and evil. And this young man is Yang Cheon, born into a prominent family of the righteous, and lived as a righteous martial artist before betraying and joining the evil sect. The evil sect lost the epic battle between good and evil. He was tormented like a prisoner of war. Why Soel-Ah tried to ask where the surviving nobles had gone. She cried and begged him to tell her. If he tells her, she will do everything to save him. But he couldn't speak, his vocal cords were ruined, and was the curse on his heart. He thought she was asking him that because the person she had made a pact with was taken away by evil sect. But if he told her that he was falsely accused, then do you believe him? If he had a bunch of reasons to explain, but it was too late, no longer makes sense. Then he decided to say it using his hand, tried to write on the brick floor. She saw this action and told him, Yang Cheon, what are you doing? Ignore the pain of the heart and liver. Finished writing to the last word. Then the heart like constricted pain. Torture him again. He quietly cursed, why did my life become like this? All the regrets big and small that make up my lives. The body can no longer endure it, so close the eyes. I don't know how much time passed, but a voice echoed in my ear. Potatoes? Do you want to eat potatoes? What is this? He looked at his arm. Wonder what the hell is this? It is clear that we have violated the prohibition of the devil. Then the heart was blown up. Then breathed his last in Soel-Ah's arms. Maybe so, but my heart still beats normally, as if nothing had happened. Then he took his hand off the heart, still reading his soul. Moreover, look at these small and clean hands. This is definitely me as a child. Then he turned his head to look to the side. But why is this the first time I meet her? Seeing the girl handing the potato to him, he thought, what did I say then? The memory of that moment came back to him. He used his hand to knock the potato off her hand. Her eyes at that time felt surprised when she dropped it. Then he deliberately used his foot to crush the potato in front of her. How dare a human like you block my way? Shameless thing. He remember it and my brain hurts. Did I say so? Having a dream like this shows that I still have many regrets. She is still shy now. Brother, you don't like potatoes? He reached out and took the potato in her hand, then laughed with the happy laugh I like so much. Then he took a bite but immediately felt his tongue blister from the heat. It's not real, but it feels so real. She saw his expression and smiled happily. She laughed and said, your face is red. At this moment, from afar, someone ran over and called, young master. He reflexively turned his head. Young master, you suddenly disappeared. It turns out you were here. This must be my guard. What's his name? Yun, right? He told him he was worried something was wrong. But he was now sticking out his tongue because it was blistered from eating the hot potato in his hand. Seeing that, he immediately reacted, intending to draw his sword and looked at the little girl. How dare you? But you put your hand out to stop it. It's okay. What? Honey cake, give it to me. Honey cake? Then he gave it to him. This is the last one. He took it and gave it to her. Do you want this? You give it to me. Of course. The guard was surprised that the young master was willing to share with others. What a strange thing. He scratched his head shyly. I got a delicious potato, but this is all I can give you. She looked towards the honey cake. That saliva was flowing down. Wow, this is the first time I got something this beautiful. Smells good too. Suddenly a voice from afar hastily called out loudly. Make everyone turn to pay attention. That person was her grandfather, looking for her. Here you are. I told you not to let go of my hand. It's okay, I got the potato. We don't talk about that. Then Grandpa asked her with concern. Are you hurt? I'm fine. He immediately recognized who this person was. Then she pointed at him. Oh, I gave this guy a potato. But he said nothing and grabbed her hand and pulled her away. Grandpa, why did you drag me away? Then he immediately bowed his head respectfully. My niece does not understand the rules. She really offended you. I sincerely apologize to you. He smiled and replied, no problem. I just want to give her this cake. Then he clasped his hands together. I'm hungry. Luckily you're here. Give me a potato. I can only repay you with this cake. Hope you accept it. He looked at his cake and hesitated. Sir, before he could finish his words, she happily came over. Receive, I receive, very fragrant and sweet but not yet reached. He took the girl and left in one go. No way, we cannot accept something so valuable. I dare not disturb you anymore, I beg your pardon. Wait, young master, if you are not happy then you can. Then he ran to deliver the cake to her hand, said, here it is yours. See you again. Seeing his granddaughter's expression, smiling, he found it difficult to speak. Then the two people discussed wanting to buy more potatoes. He thought, this guy, so are you found it? Then the two bowed again before leaving. The two people left, and he finally breathed a sigh of relief with a tired mind. Sir, are you not feeling well? That old man was the one who once held the position of martial arts leader, and is one of the 3 peaks, praised by the police as the strongest in the underworld, caused terror and fear to the evil sect disciples. Sword Venerable Wihayagun. But what is the sword master doing here? Even though this is just a dream, I almost got killed. She still turned her head to look at him. Smile warm happy. He also smiled spontaneously. Young master, let's go back to the palace. Okay, let's go back. So I have no more regrets, now wake up. But after a while, young master, we are there. He looked at it with his mouth curled up. Damn, it is not over yet. If this is a dream, I should be awake by now, right? But if this is reality, is it related to the curse of the devil? Suddenly from inside came that voice. I didn't expect you to not run away but still dare to show your face back. He realized that this person was the fire sword Gu Yanseo, my second sister and the person who hates me the most in this world. So why do people gather here? Because the sect master is coming, Gu Yanseo told him. What are you planning this time? If you still want to make trouble, stop right now. And go away. But he immediately pushed his hand away from his body. I am here because of duty. You just appeared now and you dare to speak so eloquently? Yes, it's my fault. I apologize to sect master later. Even the servant doubts life, will the young master apologize? Hearing that, Gu Yanseo shouted loudly at him. Gu Yanseo then showed her momentum. This momentum alone created a huge crater. When she gets angry, I don't know what you are going to do, but better stop now. I will not forgive you if you continue to be so shameless. He once again put out his hand to stop it. Wait a minute. Dad, that's not right, the sect master is coming. His father looked down at the two people. What was going on? Then he and everyone performed the ceremony together. He was also confused when looking at him. Then he turned his head and said, where is the person? Yes, boss, is there any sword team left? The first swordsmen have returned and are resting. The 4th sword squad is currently awaiting orders. So tell the 4th sword crew to get ready and come visit me. He think he don't know if this is a dream or reality, but that gaze is still as heavy as ever. Then he turned his head and spoke to him. And Gu Yang Cheon. After you finish eating, come to my room. Some people heard it and couldn't believe it. Even he was shocked. Then ask people around, do you have digestive medicine? The sky was now gradually turning to evening. Inside the room, people are starting to prepare for dinner. He looked at the pile of food on his table, then sighed. The atmosphere of the meal was the same as before. Damn, I can't tell if I'm eating with my mouth or nose anymore. It's so annoying to hear father calling. If only someone could do something to change the atmosphere. He said to Gu Yanseo, I heard your martial arts have improved. Yes, I just had a little enlightenment. I got 3-star a few days ago. Very good, keep it up. Thanks father. So good at that age, she already has 3-star. That's obvious, because even though she is very talented, she still tries hard every day. When she smiles, she looks beautiful, but look at her hateful face. I take back what I just said. Then he called Yang Cheon. I heard you were down the street. Yes, I have something to do so I went out for a bit. Hearing that, he immediately snorted and slammed his hand on the table to stand up. I'll go first, you guys continue eating. He found it confusing and thought, Dad seems to want to say something. Dad said he wanted to see me after dinner, so I guess. Very quickly a girl came up and whispered to him. The boss said today is a good day to rest. Come to his room tomorrow. Why did Dad suddenly change? After he returned to his room, he sat on the rooftop looking out. I'm not awake yet, this is not a dream. Is this the so-called reincarnation I've heard of? Then he slammed his hand down on the floor. Maybe this means I will be able to kill the heavenly demon. No, that is crazy. How can I kill the guy who defeated 3 masters who are considered equal to the heavens? In my previous life I had to live as a cursed demonic human, under the heavenly demon just to survive. I realized I have too many regrets. But my life full of regrets has helped me realize many things. If I really was reborn, I want to choose another life. Heavenly demon will be killed by Soel-Ah, and the evil sect will disappear too. Until then, I will live a peaceful life, do what I can. I cannot miss this opportunity. Don't repeat regrets from past lives. So first. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly felt a source of energy gathering inside his body. A burning ball. But not much different from his past. I searched all over my body, but this is all the internal energy I found. My little internal energy made me realize how good my sister is. She is only 1 year older than me, but she is already a 3-star. But I still have a way. I can practice the secret technique that is only passed down to the bloodline of the late family, the Gu Flame Wheel art, by cultivating it slowly like blooming a flower. When I become 4-star, I'll be able to emit flaming internal energy. And when I reach 7 stars, I will be able to wrap it around my body. But right now I'm just 1 star. I have to practice internal energy a lot, as soon as possible, and polish it until it becomes 2-star. To live a smooth life unlike the previous life, I should not borrow the power of demonic human anymore, but instead strengthen your own power. Then he tried to do it exactly like in the textbook. But his sweat was now dripping. The problem is, he had just finished using his energy when it seemed to disappear again. After that, he lay down on the bed. If I tried harder, I could have had anaphylaxis and died. With current ability, using internal energy is not easy. If I continue, I may have to endure retrograde energy. But there is progress. Even though it's early stages, I've become a 2-star. Keep it up, step by step. To have a life different from the previous life, I will not act arbitrarily anymore. To prepare for the coming future. When the sun shone into his eyes, he suddenly woke up. Why does my whole body hurt like this? Just a little practice. It's because I didn't practice hard enough. I have a long way to go. Wait until afternoon, then go to father's room. So until then let's practice a little. But when I opened the door, Soel-Ah was here. Still smiling happily at him like before. Hi, again. Scene changes to a man looking up and someone asks, "What are you looking at? Aren't you going back?" It doesn't seem to be a star. An eye appeared in the sky looking down. This person is afraid of, what? Then a giant foot of the monster immediately crushed. One day monster appeared from the sky. It is the gate to the demon world. Each sect raises a group of people to fight against monsters. That group of people is called the sword units. A sect must have a sword unit. And Gu clan has up to 5 units. Big sister Gu Hwibi is the general of the 5th sword unit. And I was always lectured by her. At that moment he was dragged on the ground. It was also the first time I officially met Soel-Ah. The potato story was half a year ago. But she was there to wave to him. "Oh my, I slept so late last night," she said, "Wait a minute," while grabbing his shirt with her hand. He just responded, turned his head, and looked back, unable to believe what was happening. She smiled and said, "I'm so happy to see you, from now on I." But before she could finish her words, her grandfather knocked her hand away from his shirt. "I told you, you can't talk like that to the young master." He turned and looked back. What did he say? "You apologize to the young master, I'm sorry." Words that he did not have time to load. What is this happening? Then he bowed his head again. Make him confused. "My name is Wee Mun, from now on, I will serve you to show my gratitude to the sect master. You may not be satisfied with the service of a frail old man, but I will do my best." "Why Mun, isn't this Wee Hyagun?" She also introduced herself. "I am Wee Soel-Ah, I will also help my grandfather." "Nice to meet you." He thought, serving who? What, is it me? Father must have given the order. Then he sighed accepting this. "Nice to meet yo." This feeling is like starting life and already having trouble. Then he said, "Can you call me Yang Cheon instead of young master?" "I understand, young master." "Oh, okay." A moment later, he saw him sweeping the yard with a broom. He couldn't believe it and asked, "Is that a broom?" But saw him very ordinary calmly swept. I thought to myself, really? But more importantly, why is she so clumsy? When I saw her carrying a pile of clothes and dropping them on the ground, she must have a talent for martial arts. Why does it look so bad? Then he started to move and turn as if he wanted to leave. Seeing that, she ran over. "Soel-Ah, where are you going?" Saw her eyes still filled with tears from the fall just now, but standing in front of him as if clinging to him. He confused, huh? Why don't you finish what you're doing? I'm told to follow you wherever you go. Who told you that? It's Grandpa. He thought to himself. So, Soel-Ah is my servant. I think they just push the responsibility onto her. Because they don't want to deal with me. I am still the child of a prestigious family, but is it okay for my maid to be decided so superficially? Well, Soel-Ah is fine too. But Sword Supreme is too much pressure. Then she ran to fix his shirt. When she finished, she smiled happily in response. He thought as he adjusted his shirt. Does Dad know their identity? Or is it that Father doesn't care because so many maids have given up? Dad told me to go to his room. I can go there and find out later. He sat down to put on his shoes. Seeing him go, she also followed behind. Young master, wait. He immediately turned his head and said to her, "Where are you going? Stay here and get used to everything first." She heard these words as if he was scolding her. Tears welling up again, yes. He looked at her with many emotions in his heart. Then he went out the door to remind her once more. Learn how to do your job. Her sadness appeared on her face, not daring to follow. But before he left, he told her, "Hey, I'll bring you food when I get back." Hearing him say that, her emotions once again became happy when mentioning eating. He walked and thought to himself, oh, it's really scary. We were never this close in our past life. I have never had a private conversation like this with my father before. What should I say? He must have something to say to me, that's why he called me here. After hearing him say, I will ask why Soel-Ah and why Hyagun are in my room. But while he was thinking, his father appeared behind him. What are you doing? Crap, you surprised me. Come in, okay. He came in with a worried mood, saying crap in front of the clan head. I should have just died back there. Then his father asked, have you seen the new servant yet? Yes. I just said greeted to them. I see. What do you think of them? I'm grateful you appointed me a servant for my convenience. But I'm just wondering. But he still leisurely drank a cup of tea. Then reply. Do not ask me yet. I will let you know in time. I understand. So father sent them as servants despite knowing everything. Did father make some kind of deal with Hyagun? His father continued, don't worry about this little thing. Prepare to head for the Unified Dragon Assembly tomorrow. Yes. Then what do you think the Unified Dragon Assembly is? But very quickly, his eyes gradually became unsteady, sweat began to flow out. When he got back to his room, he said, cut my throat. Hearing him say that, Muyun's heart was sweating. Young master, do you hate going to the Unified Dragon Assembly that much? Yes, it is an important event to select new members for the sword unit. Held every 2 years, for the safety of the sword unit. The warriors who closed the gate knelt, sacrifice life for Gu clan and Shangxi people. It is a mandatory rule. Those with Gu clan bloodline must participate in this event. I told you to cut my throat. I'm dead, so you don't need to participate anymore. But won't the sect master kill you himself? Also hold up the roll of paper for him to see. Even Elder Li will be there. You heard it and were startled. Elder Li?
Yeah.
He'll give you a beating if you try to run away again. Damn it. He remembers the past. Among the elders, Elder Li is especially strict. He always believed that I had to behave properly, because I am the only son in the family. I should be grateful, but he is quite busy. However, he still comes to me to teach when he has time. All the scolding and punishment made me want to stay away from him as much as possible. Even Dad never cared about me like that. He muttered, not expecting that even though he was taught by him, he would still be as miserable as he is now. What's wrong? No, I'm just talking to myself. So when do we go? We will go as soon as everyone is ready. Then he questioned the Manhwa crowd. Are you done? Sorry young master, I'm taking care of Soel-Ah. Soel-Ah, is she causing trouble again? The crowd hesitated. Then she stepped out from the crowd. The sight of her wearing this new outfit today is heart-touching. His face also became a little hot. When looking towards Soel-Ah, she walked up and said, young master, everyone says I am really pretty. He was shy and didn't dare look straight at her. So what? But he thought it was pretty. Then she lifted her hair up. So do you think I am pretty? Seeing this scene, his heart was burning like lightning striking his body, trying to suppress it. Nonsense. Let's go. So am I pretty? Let's go. Hump. Then everyone set off on the horse-drawn carriage. She poked her head out to feel it. Gosh, how cool. The carriage is moving. Is this your first time riding a horse carriage? Yes, I thought horses were just for eating, but I didn't expect them to run that fast. Huh? He also poked his head out now. Mu Yun, where did you say that this unified dragon assembly was going to be held? At the Heavenly Exchange, young master. That's the most famous shopping district in Shaanxi. Seems like Elder Li put a lot of effort into this one. It will take about 4 hours. Why don't you take a nap? I couldn't sleep because I practiced all night, then thought I haven't been sleeping much lately, but inside at the moment there was loud talking which made him angry. I'm telling you, horse meat smell funky, but it's still delicious. He immediately put the candy in her mouth. Eat this and shut up. She immediately sat down and ate the cake without saying anything more. This sight makes her look like a gluttonous pig, and now he can rest quietly. Finally, it's quiet. I will take a nap. I don't know how long it took, but her voice appeared again. Young master, is the cake gone? Okay, I know. Soel-Ah, have you told the young master we're here yet? Oh right. In a dazed herd, he woke up. Are we there? Then lift the curtain. A magnificent sight met his eyes were the bustling streets with street lights. It's a large, crowded, and exciting festival, and she used her nose to feel something fragrant. A man came from afar. You must be tired from the long journey. I'm Chun Ishil, the vice merchant head of the Heavenly Exchange. It is an honor meeting the rising star of the Gu clan. He also replied, I am Yang Cheon of the Gu clan. He said his first day here went very smoothly. Thanks to Elder Li and Miss Gu's efforts. You must be tired, let me take you to your room. Hearing the name reminded him. Gu Yanxiu? That voice still echoed in his head. This is really starting to test my patience. I won't come across her, right? It was at this moment that he saw her enter the room. Eyes still the same as before, looking at him and saying TSK. He called, Hi, sister. Don't be so sisterly with me to make me angry. While I do not believe you will cause trouble here at the United Dragon Assembly, but don't do anything to tarnish the family's reputation. He replied, I will be quiet as a mouse. So you don't have to worry about me. After hearing that, she got angry. I'm worried about you? Then she noticed the person standing next to him. Seeing his deep eyes looking at her, Soel hid behind his back in fear. Then she continued, Are you going to act like you usually do here too? What are you talking about? I thought you had changed, but I was wrong. Then she slammed the door without explanation. What happened to her? Let's go. Sorry about that. It's okay. I heard that brothers and sisters often argue. You must be tired, take a rest. Can we stop somewhere first? But when they reached a large place, the crowd kept shouting. Wow, so big, I have never seen such a big building. Although I have also heard that traders evaluate each other's financial strength by the amount of money they spend on organizing the festival. But isn't this a bit too much? Today is a day to honor the Swords unit and their extraordinary efforts. Matches will be held tomorrow to select new members for the Sword unit. Luckily, I don't have to participate. The only thing I have to do here is stand and watch. It's so peaceful. But he didn't know that behind him there was a person full of murderous intent walking towards him. So you didn't run this time. He just turned around to look back. An old man put his hand on his head. He looked at this speed suddenly, not good. But the result was surprisingly different from what he imagined. He rubbed his head and smiled. He asked, What's the matter? Don't you always run away whenever you see this old man? Who said he would break me in half if I didn't show up? Who would dare say such cruel words? It's you. He was startled when he heard that. Then patted his head again. Oh, now you still dare to argue back. Seeing him rubbing his head, he thought to himself, I want to puke. The second elder has always been a strange obsession with me. Maybe because I am the sect master's only son. And Soel-Ah now opened his mouth very wide looking at him. Wow, it's a bear. Bear meat is delicious and horse too. As soon as she finished speaking, he turned to look at her with murderous intent. Her voice gradually became smaller when she saw his eyes. And then tears welled up. Then switched to hiding mode behind him and whispered, I don't want to eat bear meat anymore. Then he see that, tell him. Elder, you scare her. Huh, you're worrying me. Is that child your concubine? What? What are you talking about? Look at her clothes, she is a servant. Well, all right. If that's what you say, then put on a bored face. Tomorrow is the Unified Dragon Assembly. Even though you're just a spectator, go to bed early because you still have to be there. Yes, yes. As soon as she heard that, she hid behind the door and waved at him. Let's go quickly before he eats us. Young master, quickly. He continued. If you run, your neck will.
Yeah.
I know. Seeing him leave, she said to him, will the bear eat you? He will strangle me first. As for him, he could still see his brother's figure, just as I thought. That child is not ordinary at all. The scene changes to the day of the Unified Dragon Assembly arrived. I thought the Unified Dragon Assembly would start early in the morning, but looking at this line of people, it probably won't start until noon. Those from the numerous Shangxi clans, or anyone who can prove their identity, are allowed to participate. However, I never expected there to be this many people. Becoming a member of a sword unit means a lot. Soel-Ah started to stutter, calling him young master. The bear grandpa come to take my head off, then hugged him from behind, his whole body trembling. What's going on with her? Can't we just tell him to hibernate? It's spring now. If you are so scared, you should have stayed in your room, but grandfather said I have to stay by your side. He also gave up because he thought he couldn't ask you to disobey the sword master's orders. Then he said to her, it's okay, our guards here can defeat that bear. She heard and was happy. Wow, really? He explained to Mu-yun, that is the second elder. How can I touch the second elder? Moreover, you must call him in respectfully. I guess this is it then, Soel-Ah, let's just give him your head. She heard that tears could not be held back and fell to the ground. She sobbed, today is the day Soel-Ah dies, if everyone will be happy with Soel-Ah's head. It's okay, I'm just kidding, young master, I'll be beheaded. I told you I was joking. It is said that ghosts who die with a full stomach look prettier, especially the ghosts who died after eating dumplings. Then point forward, he seemed to understand and took her there to eat. You treat this servant too well. Who? Her, yes, servant we. Treat her well? Didn't you see that? A servant begging me for a dumpling, but only he know. Partly because he didn't know how to treat her. Because he met her in his past life. Mu-yun continued, she doesn't seem to understand what a servant is, but you still bought it for her. I also don't understand why. You are really different from the rumors. I am so gullible and I still have so much to learn. It's just a few dumplings, you think too much. Wait, rumor. How long have you been my bodyguard? Well, about 2 weeks. I think it must have been appointed right before I was reincarnated, so I don't know who is the lucky one here. Suddenly right next to him there was a loud scream from afar that startled him. Miss, you shouldn't wander around in such a dangerous place. You worry too much. The Unified Dragon Assembly is being held, so what can even happen? When so many people of the Gu clan are here. That voice sounds familiar. It can't be, can it? That's exactly why I'm worried. What if you were to, by any chance, run into the Gu heir? He was startled again after hearing that. Me? There's no way, right? There are plenty of men in the Gu family. The woman's voice continued. Do you really think that would happen? There are so many people here. Huh, that sounds rather ominous. Then the woman turned away. But at this moment our eyes accidentally met. The two sides opposite said nothing. Then Mu-yun whispered to the young master. The expressions of that lady over there, and her guard, look as if they've just seen something horrendous. By any chance, do you know who they might be? There is no way I would forget that hair which falls to her shoulders, and black, beady eyes. That ring on her hand contains a symbol that appears when examined up close. However, for me, who already knows these, the significance of that ring is not foreign to Omicron Mu Epsilon. The Hebei Pong clan. My former fiancé. There's a simple reason. A marriage was arranged with the Hebei Peng clan, one of the 4 largest clans. The Gu clan is just as prestigious as the 4 clans, and they have a child at a similar age. If nothing happens, I was bound to be the heir. And the Peng clan probably thought an arranged marriage with the Gu clan was also fine. The issue lies in the trouble I caused. All the bad rumors about me, who ditches training to cause more trouble, did not sound so favorable to the Peng clan, and what really shattered our relationship were the things I said to that girl. She said to him, why are you here? That's my line, why are you here? I happen to have some business here. You guys don't own the entirety of Shangxi. Do I need to report my every step? If you say so. Why are you talking to Mu Epsilon so rudely? Have you forgotten that I'm still a year older than you? He said in an indifferent voice.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot. All good now, okay? Hey, come back if you bought the dumplings. Before leaving he said to her. Whatever you're here for. Have a good stay. We go first, see you later. She saw the scene of Soel-Ah carrying a pile of dumplings. And was startled then could only watch him leave. I'm busy dealing with my brothers. I've never met that girl beside him. Is she a servant? With such a cute servant around him. Could he have changed? Then she remembered the past when the two talked. Who the hell are you? You re just the daughter of a concubine. Then she grabbed his collar. Then climbed onto the table with anger. What did you just say? I'm not wrong, am I? Then she punched him in the face. I was prepared to endure it all, even if it was an arranged marriage. Even with all the terrible rumors about you, for the sake of the Pong clan. At this time the servant interrupted, Miss, please calm down. But her hand pushed the servant away. Then walked towards him. On the hand holding the chair ready to hit down. Fuck the marriage. I will beat you to death. Just like that, the sound of smashing continuously came out. Now she remembers that scene and thinks nothing has changed since that day. As for him, he asked Seor. Isn't it too heavy? I'm fine. You don't look fine, I'll help you. I'll also help. Focus on your guarding duties. Let's bring some back to Manhwa if there are any left. She saw this scene and still found it hard to believe. There is something different about him. No way. He's probably just having fun. That crazy guy growing up? Impossible. But maybe. When she first thought of this, suddenly there was a loud noise on the other side. What do you mean? The loud scream startled everyone. Are you okay, young master? I'm fine but… Young master, is the dumpling okay? And the other side. Screaming like that won't solve the problem. Please calm down. And this guy immediately slammed his hand on the table. With a scolding. I said I don't have time, will you be responsible if I get caught? Caught? What do you mean? This statement made the crowd immediately quiet down and wait for his answer. I never said that. Are you kidding me? Just let me join. No way. Hear words like this. Mu-yeon asked him. Shouldn't we help? Do we have to? Anyone can participate in the Unified Dragon Assembly, but obviously, that's only if they can prove their identity. I was asking whether we should allow him to keep causing a scene. Squabbling over the Unified Dragon Assembly entry is no rare sight. The martial artists of the Gu clan in standby will take care of it. Then patted this guy on the shoulder and said, let's stop this here. But the guy immediately grabbed the martial artist's hand. Then one move threw him away. Throw him firmly on the floor. The person who wrote the registration shouted loudly, what are you doing? I think I've proved my skill. Can I participate now? Of course not. Why not? I showed you my skills. Mu-yeon asked him one more time. We don't need to do anything, right? But you said go ahead. What about that person? I don't want to get involved in that. They'll take care of it on their own. The writer of the entry once again spoke loudly. You can't just have things the way you want. We have our own regulations. You cannot enter if you can't be identified properly. That guy continued. Isn't my skill enough evidence? That's an even bigger problem. Are you disrespecting the young clan head of the Pong clan right now? Hearing this, his eyes became different. Then both he and she turned towards this guy at the same time. What did he just say? The young clan head of the Pong clan? Remember the past, she said. What are you doing? It's so cold that we lit a fire to warm up and also baked a potato. I won't ask why you're doing this in front of my room, but what are you planning to do with that plaque in your hand? This? The sweet potato was taking too long to cook, so I thought I'd use it to get the fire going stronger, but just finished speaking then she threw it at his head. Why did you hit me? It's worth it. Do you know what you are holding? Firewood. It's a plaque of the Pung clan from the clan head himself. It was a reward for graduating top of the class from the Divine Dragon Academy, and for becoming the youngest successor in history. You know what you can do with that plaque. I can use it to make the fire stronger. If you're tired of living, just say it. You need to act more like a successor. Successor, right. I can't guess what you're thinking. You have all the skills and talents. Even chosen as your successor. Yet you look unhappy. Not even close. But I just want to leave this place. So why don't you leave and come back? Then her brother left the letter with the message. I'll go out for a bit. She read it and immediately crumpled it. It seems like this bastard thinks a little bit like 4 months. Miss has news for you. Finally, can we find that bastard? Where is he? This person whispered, in Shangxi, why? Why did he go so far? Change scene to now. He heard and shouted, why the hell now? I showed you all that I can. So let me join quickly. I don't have time. I have to show you Dark Night Blade. To make you believe me. Mu Yun said to Yang Cheon, did you hear that, young master? The Dark Night Blade. Isn't that the secret technique of the direct bloodline of the Peng clan? Then he thought, so that guy is really the eldest son. Have to get out of here quickly. Before getting into some trouble. As soon as he finished speaking, a huge arm appeared. The second elder stepped forward. You dare to say Black Knight knife? It seems you are not a fraud. When he saw this scene, he thought he was done for. Second elder continued, he seems skilled enough, let him participate. Young man immediately clasped his hands and introduced. I am Peng Wu-jin, successor of Peng clan. It is an honor to meet you. Grandmaster Pure Flame Fist of Renowned Gu clan. It's been a long time since I heard that title. You can participate. Don't worry about that. Elder, no. We can't confirm. Is he really the successor of Peng clan? He said, I'm pretty sure he is. He looks just like his father. And look at that body. That's the body of a Peng. He's just as built. The black ring on his finger, him too. That's enough to confirm his identity. I think that's the ring that Pengar he has. Is this guy really the successor of Peng clan? The second elder looked at him and asked, tell me the reason. The successor of Peng clan wants to join the competition while the purpose is to choose new members for the Gu clan sword unit. Wu Jin immediately said, it's not fun in the Peng clan. That's not a bad reason. Do you have the clan's permission? And Yang Cheon thought, is he crazy? I don't think they will allow it, so I ran away. Is this guy stupid? He got more laughs. He ran away. Did you hear that, Yang Cheon? You seem to be pretty well trained. How old are you? I'm 23 this year. So young. Peng clan has raised a monster. I wish my idiot could learn a little from you. Then intentionally looked in his direction. They immediately whispered, I'm sure he isn't talking about you, young master. He called you a little idiot. Why did he say that? Shut up. Both of you hurrying me more than he did. I don't even care what he say about me anyway. If he really is Peng Wujin, then it's true that he's a monster. Not far from now, he will receive the title, Blade Emperor Peng Wujin. That means he's from the Peng clan. Wasn't there another person from the Peng clan here? Very quickly his sister ran over. Brother. Peng Wujin looked back. It's you. But before he could finish speaking, he was kicked in the face from his beloved sister. Just fly behind the gate. Her spirit was as fierce as a demon's. You are crazy. He claimed to be the successor, but leave a piece of paper and run away without a trace. Peng Wujin raised his hand to stop it. Wait a minute. Do you have any last words? Please spare me. Then the little sister's blows kept coming. You run away from home to join the sword team of another clan. You has lost your mind? You're killing me. Just die, you little shit. I think he might really die. Shouldn't we stop them? Let them be. The Peng guys are real sturdy. He don't die even if you beat him with a metal rod. But Peng Wujin was now screaming for help. Grandmaster, help, please help. Are you sure? Maybe you're right. That's enough. You're gonna end up killing him. Who dares intervene? Seeing the elder approaching, she was startled. Grandmaster Gu, sorry for the late introduction. I'm Peng Aoi. I'm sorry, you had to see us fight over such a petty family matter. No, I like to meet funny people like him. I will not forget this. I will definitely compensate you later. We will go right away. But Peng Wujin firmly said, I won't go. Haven't you been beaten enough? But Peng Wujin's eyes became determined. I'm not kidding. Why? Peng clan is not fun. So Jiu clan and other clans are fun? Definitely more fun than we are. Please, you need to grow up. You are the successor. That's why. I want to have fun before I become the clan head. The only way to avoid becoming the clan head is to become crippled or to die, but I don't like either option. I don't want to become the clan head, but other than you and I, everyone else are just beasts wearing our name, so I will definitely be the clan head one day. I can't have you become the clan head. That's why I accepted this successor position too, even though I don't want to. Then pushed her hand off his shoulder. He turned to him and said, "Second elder, are you really gonna let him attend? I don't think it's a good idea for us to get involved in this matter with the Peng clan. I would like to, but considering the situation the Peng clan is in, I don't know. Then how about this? I will let you participate if you win against me." Aoi said, "What kind of nonsense is that? Second elder, have you finally lost your mind?" He laughed out loud. "Just 10 moves to decide who wins. What do you think? Is that all? Have I ever lied? As for the rules, let's see. If you manage to touch Mu Epsilon within 10 turns, I will count it as your win." What he just said. He uses his skills, sneaking behind his back at a terrifying speed. Then from above, prepare to slash with his sword, but thinking that was good. A second later he got surprised. His voice laughed, "You are so impatient," with his face full of anger. Scene transitions to the festival arena. You've waited long enough, ladies and gentlemen. Battle between the two stars. Who will lead the future of the Gu clan? The Flame Sword, Gu Yanseo, and Gu Yanchen, the first heir of the Gu clan. Why am I sparring here? Moreover, with my sister. Return to battle of Peng Mujin. Second elder one punch knocked Peng Mujin. Made him fly a few laps and lie still on the floor. Then he smiled with a happy smile. "I won." He asked the elder in confusion. "Aren't you only supposed to dodge, elder? Did I say that? When? Anyway, it's a sparring match we both agreed to. Besides, I controlled my strength, so he'll wake up soon enough. I have nothing to do with this if the Peng clan comes knocking. Put your worries to rest. I, the pure flame fist, won't die alone. Please, die a lonesome death." Yo, this is completely on the second elder's own accord. It's fine. It's a relief he's lying down like that. Who knows what kind of trouble he would have caused. That's why such a nonsensical sparring match was suggested. Young daughter of the Peng clan. Do you really think so? I just did it because I thought it'd be funny. He thought, how did he become an elder? The Gu clan is heading downhill. Soel-Ah at this time behind the back hiding in fear, young master. Okay, let's get away from the big bear. But unexpectedly her face was different from just now. Just now, the bear grandpa, whoosh, pow. Then the wind went swoosh. Then that man went kapow. And got slammed to the ground. He think her expression is straightforward. How did she save the world? He heard that and smiled back. This cute kid really has a better eye. Then gloomy over there. This old man will give you a present. A present. Then he pulled out a honey cake. Wow. She changed her attitude very quickly. Soel-Ah like bear grandpa from the start. I just knew you'd say that. Then he turned to him and said, "Are you disappointed because I only gave your servant a present? I guess this old man must also give you a gift. I don't like sweets. After the Unified Dragon Assembly, you're going to have to take part in an exhibition match. It's your turn to go on stage. You're not using a sword?" he thought as he warmed up his muscles. Sword? Did I use a sword back then? The Gu Flame Wheel Arts can be utilized with a variety of weapons, and is known to be especially effective with the sword or fists. In the end, I realized that using my fists worked best for me, and quit using the sword. Will that look weird? Gu Yanseo continued. Well, I don't really care whether you use a sword or fist or whatever. I was happy to hear that. Her nasty personality is finally being of use. Gu Yanseo grinned. I'm just so grateful and happy to have this opportunity. Opportunity? An opportunity, a legitimate chance to beat up my little brother. Furthermore, it's in front of so many people. He saw this concave and convex attitude and thought to himself, Elder, you really remember to this morning. Why do I need to participate in the match? And with my sister at that. You don't need to shout. Well, I don't want people to go home thinking the Gu clan is boring. Ugh. You AMN crazy geezer. I can see it written all over your face that you just think it'd be funny. Whatever, I'll just surrender midway. He continued. If you're thinking of giving up midway, then point your hand towards the unlucky guy Peng Wujin. Lying on the ground is enough to understand. He said, do you really want to watch me get beat up and lose in front of so many people that badly? and he looked at him and said, Yang Cheon. Are you really planning to lose? Planning to lose. I can't waste my once-in-a-lifetime chance to restart. I don't want to waste energy on a fight that didn't even happen in my previous life. Moreover, Gu Yanseo said, my dear brother, who will naturally become the next clan head just because you're a man. I despise you to death. The atmosphere was evident at this moment. When Gu Yanseo confronts him, begin. She rushed towards him at full speed. A sword slashed down and he quickly dodged it, then followed by a horizontal slash. As expected, he ducked down to avoid it. She continued to turn around one more time. This time he leaned back, just a little way from the sword, but still avoid smoothly. How can he, a mere 2-star, be dodging my 3-star attacks? Is what she's thinking right now. I'm making do by moving half a beat earlier than her. But even this is making me short of breath. This just shows that I lack training right now. Now, how do I get this over with? What if I just let myself get hit? Will I be in one piece after taking one of her strikes? You still only know how to dodge. This time she decided to move down. One hand grabbed his shirt, a strong sword slash that Cho could hardly dodge, but he followed the angle of the shirt to try to take it off in the nick of time. As she slashed again, his shirt was also left by him on one side. If you swing with such obvious intent, it only makes it easier to dodge, sis. So could you stop it? Just how much murderous intent does she have for my clothes to tear like that? I forced myself to that. I'd never be the clan head as woman, despite working myself to death. However, to think you, who has been wasting their life like scum, gets to shove me out of the way just because you're a man. Would you be able to understand? Her sword once again began to appear as red flames surrounded it. Did she coat her sword with martial energy? That's kind of dangerous. That level is far beyond 3-star. Then she kept slashing at him. He avoided again and again. Just in a flash. You always just run away. Again, and again. You don't do anything. You're talentless, and you don't even put in effort. If you're going to live such a worthless life, you should just disappear. Disappear like your mother did. At this point his eyes became strange. As the sword drew closer to his neck. Suddenly, she felt sweaty when she saw this surprise. Her arm couldn't move. By his hand, holding her aura also gradually disappeared. Instead his anger rose. What did you say? Sister was the coolest person I know. At only 15, she received the title of Sword Phoenix. She graduated at the top of her class at the Divine Dragon Academy, and was appointed as the 5th sword unit leader of the Gu clan. Everyone acknowledged her, but she won't be able to become the clan head of the Gu clan. Instead, the one who will become the clan head is the concubine's child, Gu Yang Cheon. But I didn't hate him. Although we were half-siblings, Gu Yang Cheon's mother was kind to me, and I liked her too. So I was fine with Gu Yang Cheon's existence. Before that happened, that is, one day, she suddenly disappeared. Father sent out the order to not look for her. So nobody did. That was when it started. Gu Yang Cheon spoke and acted sharply toward everyone, and rumors spread that he touched his maid's surfaced. Still, there was no change to him being the next term clan head, since the clan head had always been a man. Ignoring me, who worked so hard, and my outstanding sister. I resented Gu Yang Cheon, who was so privileged yet didn't know what he had. No, I loathed him, but his eyes were now looking at her. What? Suddenly she felt like she was in imminent danger of death. Without hesitation quickly retreated back. This is dangerous. But in the blink of an eye, he was standing behind her. On the hand that is clenching his fist, a punch reached her eyes. Also reacted very quickly. Gu Yanseo? She's the same age as me, but she's so talented. I shouldn't go around saying I'm from the Pang family anywhere. You're doing just fine, my lady. They're mumbling things. What are they saying? Can you hear what they're saying, Yobi? You won't be able to hear them, my lady. Why? The second elder has set up his internal energy, so there's no way you could hear them. Don't go around saying you're from the Peng clan with that face. Are you embarrassed of your older brother? Duh. Just stay in the unified dragon assembly until the swelling goes down. Yes, yes. So the one dueling right now is the Sword Phoenix's younger sibling? Correct. Isn't she incredible? She's already a 3-star. Her swordsmanship is smooth. The same goes for the way she wields her internal energy. Pang Wujin continued. No, not her. I was asking if the one dodging was the Sword Phoenix's younger sibling. Yes, young lord, they're both the Sword Phoenix's younger siblings. I see. Then a smile appeared on his face. So the Gu clan doesn't just have the Sword Phoenix. Pang Aoi see his smile, also feel confused. Then remember Pang Wujin's words. That's why I want to have fun before I become the clan head. When he becomes the clan head, he won't be able to have that look in his eyes. They're done. Gu Yanxiu, when seeing his hit in her head, continually telling herself, I just have to dodge. The opportunity is mine. Then she immediately put all her strength into this slash. But he told her, I understand you. So it's okay, if you hate me. I've lived my life like that. What you said was annoying. But I'll understand it. So you, too, should understand why I'm doing this. He once again condensed the air in the palm of his hand. Her eyes now also sensed something was wrong. One of his punches swung hard towards her. Finally, due to the collision just now, she lay motionless on the floor. He is the only one standing. The match is over. Gu Yangchen wins. Scene changes to him sitting alone in front of the big door. Winning wasn't in my plans. Damn it. To think the 2-star internal energy could make her nose bleed and knock her unconscious. Is it okay? I hope nothing happens. Remember what Gu Yanxiu said to him. You should have just disappeared. Makes him feel even sadder. Young master, are you okay? You're not hurt anywhere, are you? Well, how's the situation inside? But since they all thought you'd just be beaten up, the entire atmosphere is abuzz that you won. Well, makes sense. To think that the bastard rumored to be a scoundrel defeated an upcoming prospect. Although the atmosphere did settle a bit since the second elder immediately began to conclude things at the unified dragon assembly. He stood up from the chair. So he's doing that right now? Then let's get out of here. Before we bump into the second elder. Soel-Ah cared to ask him. Young master, your hand is bleeding. Oh. This is proof that I can't handle my internal energy properly yet. It's no big deal, so. And saw her wrapping her hand in bandages. He looked at his hand. Is this how you do it? I don't think so. She once again tears welled up. Sorry, Soel-Ah don't know how to do it, so don't get hurt. Wu Jin also got the chance to talk about it. Read the room, fucker. Huh, did you just sweet? Nice to meet you, young master Peng. I am Gu Yangchen. And nice to meet you too. Peng Ahe hiding behind shyly said. Brother, please. Let's just go. Then smiled towards Yang Cheon's side. It must be awkward for you. Since you and young Lord Gu were once engaged. Take this opportunity to reconcile. Brother. But he found it difficult to understand. Why are you here? Wouldn't it be good to use this opportunity for strong people? To make connections and become friends? No, just call me Brother Peng from now on. Peng Wuhin put his arm around his shoulder and pulled him aside and have a friendly chat. Getting close to someone like me won't benefit you in any way. Someone like you? I thought the Gu family only had the Sword Phoenix Gu Wibi. To think there'd be a talent like you hidden within the Gu family. He looked and thought, why is he naturally talking to me informally? Judging from how you mentioned Gu Wibi, I'm guessing you know my sister? Of course. We're super close, but I don't know what she thinks of us. Then you're not close. This means we're plenty close enough. Then since it's late, I'll get going. But before leaving, he still stood staring at him. He don't understand. Do you have anything else to say? The day our engagement was broken off, she continued shyly. I was mean for hitting you with a chair, so, but suddenly he said first, sorry. I did call you a concubine spawn, or whatever. I'm still immature, but I was more so back then. I definitely did something worth getting hit, so you don't need to apologize. Hear this word of him. Her smile reappeared. All right. Don't lose what brother gave you. What are you talking about? Then noticed put hand inside his shirt. He held in his hand a wooden board with the word Pang written on it. What is this? Then her figure gradually disappeared before his eyes. Goodbye. He looked up at the night sky. There are still so many things that I have to fix. Let's go. Yes, young master. Evening on the horse carriage, everyone go home together. Soel-Ah was now sleeping soundly, lying next to a servant, and he sat by the window thinking. No matter how I think about it, I don't remember. Sparring against my sister in my previous life, much less winning against her. Beginning with how Soel joined as a servant. So many things are starting to diverge from the past that I knew. Could that small act of kindness have changed something? After we get back, I'll need to move faster than expected. But suddenly, he felt something unusual. Look out and say, Mu-yun, check the demon sensing charm? There are no changes, young master. I don't know what you sensed, but it'll automatically glow if a demon realm gate opens nearby, so do not worry. As soon as the words were spoken, the amulet glowed. Then Mu-yun screamed really loud. Everyone, stop. It's a gate to the demon realm. Assume combat positions. The safety of the young master is of utmost. But as soon as he finished speaking, he was already below, warming up his muscles. What are you doing here? It's dangerous. He heard this a lot, so he replied, I'll listen to the sermons later. Look ahead of you. A green gate appeared right in front of the path. Before everyone could finish speaking, the gate gradually became wider. A horde of monsters rushed out with their ferocity. He also began to gather energy. On his arm, green means it's the lowest level of danger. It may be tricky, but it's fully manageable. Then he knocked out the first one with one punch. On hand began to pull out a green object. The universal weakness of monsters. The demonic stones. They are similar to a heart for monsters. Upon extraction, the monsters instantly die. It's easy if you just extract the demonic stones. But by the time he killed the second one, his body had already become exhausted. Crap, my energy has already dissipated. Keeping the goo flame will arts going is rather difficult. However, if I want to survive, I need to use the flame will arts. But a word from afar surprised him. Young master. In the blink of an eye, Mu-yun was standing right in front of him, on the hand holding the small sword. The skills he used continuously cut these into pieces. He looked and could not believe his eyes. Whoa, was he always that strong? After killing everyone, he turned and asked, Young master, are you okay? You're done already? That was fast. Yes, there weren't many monsters to begin with. And thankfully, they were the lowest class of monsters. More importantly, what were you doing? If you were to get injured, well, what's good is good, right? It's not so simple. But now his arm started to show signs of change. Purple color appears on hand. Mu-yun turned to remind everyone. Anyway, next time, you must evacuate to a safe place. But suddenly he collapsed to the ground. The pain immediately made him speak out loud. The crowd is now running with anxiety. Young master. What's the matter? He hugged his arm and cursed inwardly. Ami, getting that shitty feeling from here. Then look forward. This is the heavenly demon's art that absorbs demonic energy. Memories of past life begin to reappear. Why did you do this? What did we do to you? Why are you doing this to us? Blossom splitting blade, are those your last words? As soon as he finished speaking, a head rolled over. Saw the familiar face of the sect leader. As soon as he finished speaking, a giant shadow appeared, covering the entire large yard. In the sky is a giant dragon with a person standing on it. The blossom, it wasn't terrible. Then the dragon rider from above began to jump down. He then bowed down in respect. But it was nowhere near enough to satisfy me. That being said, I was able to get some shallow joy from it. So raise your head. The energies just appeared on his hands, running down to the dantian. Back to reality. When the energy from the air emitted from his hand. What is this? Is the flame will arc purifying the demonic energy? No. It's consuming it. I don't think this ever happened in my previous life. Seeing him in pain and screaming, two people were worried. Young master. Are you alright? He immediately sat up and said okay. It was nothing much. I guess I was more hurt from sparring than I thought. Then I'll search for a doctor nearby who can treat you. I'm okay now, so there's no need to worry. He think I should hide it for now. Nothing good will come out of people knowing that I absorbed demonic energy. But Soel-Ah's eyes glistening with tears called him. Young master, you look super hurt. Is it painful? Does it look that way? It shouldn't be that bad. Your face, it looks bad. Hearing that, he was a little angry. What did you say? But very quickly another servant came and pulled her out. Soel-Ah, you should be helping the young master, not annoying him. I was just worried. Mu-yun asked him. Young master, if you aren't feeling well, we can visit a nearby apothecary. It's not that bad, so don't worry. I just need a good night's sleep, so let's get ready for the journey again. If that's what you say. Then everyone gathered to prepare to leave. He looked at his hand. I no longer feel the demonic energy in my body. Did the goo flame will art really do something? Seeing as the color of the demonic stone faded, the demonic energy has been properly absorbed. Anyway, I need to get moving. Then he immediately crushed this magic stone. The next day everyone went to the market together. The honey cake sparkled like gold. Soar's eyes can't leave this place, even for a moment. Mouth kept muttering, honey cake. Seeing him leave silently, she was startled. Why did you bring Soar if you weren't going to buy me honey cake? Seeing her about to throw a tantrum, he turned around and said, what are you saying? I said that I have business at the market, and you used your grandpa as an excuse to follow me. Mu-yun also asked him curiously. Then, young master, why did you come to the market? You haven't recovered from your ordeal. If there isn't a reason for you to be doing it the day after the Unified Dragon Assembly, I think it would be best to return home. Is there something you're looking for? If so, I will assist you in searching for it. Leaving Soar, still drooling as she looks at the honey cake, he said as he walked. I understand that you want to help, but now's not your time. After going a little further, he stopped. Looking down the alley, a familiar figure appeared. That seems to be the way, doesn't it? What is it? What is in this alleyway? Before going inside, he reminded her. Soar, go home. Mu-yun, follow me. She asked worriedly. But why? Go back to the clan. I'll be back by afternoon. So let the other servants know. She made an excuse again, but Grandpa. He heard and turned back. I'll give you 10 honey cookies, if you go home now. Her eyes gradually became more sly, along with dumplings. He also did not hesitate to accept the agreement. Of course. Then the two people shook hands to compromise. Successfully closed the deal, he said to Mu-yun. Then, shall we get going? Where are we headed? You will find out. Two people walked and looked around these houses. I think it's somewhere here. Young master, this is a more dangerous location. I know. Go a little further. Then he stopped. A strange building. Looked a bit dilapidated, as if it could collapse at any moment. Then both walked forward. I was almost worried that it wouldn't be here. Young master, why did you need to come here? Why? Does something seem off? To be frank, yes. Rather than the appearance, I'm getting a bad feeling about the building itself. He heard and then sneered. Oh, you've got keen senses. So he opened the door and looked. There was a group of curious hooligans inside. Who's this brat? Someone shat out a baby here? What kind of gross crap you saying? The guy behind the brat has a sword. What should we do then? Should we kill him? Seeing the thugs, Mu-yun was about to reach for his sword. But one of them came out from the crowd, with a lamp. This isn't the peaceful town to be poking around in. What brought you all the way here? What else? I'm here as a customer. Seems like our kiddo's got an attitude. Think it'll fix the issue if we chop off your tongue? Mu-yun heard and felt angry for him. On hand began to take hold of his sword. How dare you? But he reminded, just back down for a bit. You already knew who I am from the moment I stepped foot in here. Are you worried that the Goo clan will wipe this area clean? We don't have a reason to do that. Besides, it'd be a loss for us now. Before things turn into the situation you fear, bring me the regional manager. After hearing this, the guy burst out laughing. Regional manager? I don't know where our little kiddo learned his crap from, but he's lacking a ton of something called a respect. As soon as he finished speaking, other people from inside came to surround him, but he still calmly said, you guys don't seem to be the polite type either. Then he laughed. Guys, get them. Just issued order. The crowd rushed forward with their swords, but Mu-yun also started to draw his sword to protect him. Do not think of laying a finger on the young master's body. Then continuously slash the sword. Cut very precisely into each person's weak point here until the last one stopped. Seeing the people lying around, he was still not harmed at all. This brat is still the heir of the Goo clan after all. I ought to have expected some crazy bodyguard to be attached to him. I can't bring a kid like this to the regional manager either. What should I do? But behind the door, there is someone ready to open the door. Captain. The regional manager has something to say. The regional manager? Crap, has he already heard about it? I'm screwed. Then turned to talk to the other guy. What did he say? He heard people mumbling to each other from afar. He was confused. They are clearly plotting something. I guess I have no choice. Then he ordered Mu-yun to kill all of them. But a voice from afar stopped this. Hey, kiddo, sheath that sword. The regional manager wants to meet you. Then he complained to them. You should have said so earlier, damn it. Mu-yun, sheath your sword. Shall we go? Seeing him go ahead, Mu-yun ran after him. Wait, young master? Young master, I just don't understand the... It's no big deal, I was planning on going to the beggars sect, but there were a few problems. The beggars sect were able to secure a spot amongst the 10 largest sects with the information they possessed alone. However, since they are still a part of the orthodox sects, they do not take jobs that would cause trouble. The request I need to make is a little problematic. So I needed to go somewhere else. If the beggars sect is the best of the orthodox sects in regards to obtaining information, this is the place for the unorthodox sects, the house sect. When he first got down, there was someone waiting from afar to greet him. I am the Shangxi branch leader, Du Wenchu. We weren't expecting someone like you to visit, so we apologize for coming out aggressively. He slowly sat down in his chair. No need for apologies. Will you accept my commission? Before that, can I ask why you didn't go to the beggar sect of the prestigious Gu clan when we're small and unorthodox? He got straight to the point. I came because this is a commission that the beggar sect can't do. It's something only the house sect can. Why do you keep trying to check? I apologize if I made you feel uncomfortable, but due to your last name, we have no choice but to be careful, so please understand. I know. So will you accept the commission or not? The house sect cannot refuse commissions, as long as you have the price, that is. Then I'll take it as you having accepted the commission. I'm looking for someone, a boy who's just a bit older than 10 now. Then give him the details. He looked at this person's information, and then told him, I apologize, young lord, but I think I have to take back what I just said. I don't think I'll be able to accept this. A commissioner we had before you is not looking for the child, but for the whereabouts of the person who is protecting the child. So please understand. Even if the commission fee is about the house sect leader? His words made the eyes of the people behind him turn cold. Everyone in the gang wanted to draw their swords out of their sheaths, and together they wanted to slash at him, but there was a faster Moyan sword that blocked all at once. I thought you weren't going to come out aggressively. How do you know that? I'm not here to talk in riddles. Isn't it important that we both have information that the other needs? Can you verify the truth of your info? You should confirm it yourself. Carefully considering things like this is something you should do when you're in a desperate situation. If you don't need it, then forget it. I'll just look for the beggar sect. Maybe slip some things about the house sect leader to them, too. Words come here. The hand of the Gunchu guy kept shaking and hesitating. By his words he accepted. I understand. He replied, good. How long will it take? Around 3 months. Yes, that's fine. Then he stand up. Then once you find him, let's exchange more information. Before he go he say one more thing. The sharp mountain range made him startled immediately. Looking at him leaving. This is your advance. He fell into deep thought again. The guys said. The sharp mountain range. Do you trust his words, branch leader? Judging by the fact that he knows top secret information that the sect leader is missing, I have no choice but to believe him. Then he thought about him. What was he thinking? Seeing how skilled the guard is who came with him, he must have known that we would come out aggressively like this. This information can't be something only the young master knows alone. I'm sure the Gu clan head is also involved. Damn it, and then he held it to his neck. Pull out a mask. Is it okay for you to take it OFF? Then she said it just felt stuffy. There's no one watching now anyway. The house sect typically doesn't respect, trust, or follow the sect leader, which is why was hiding, in order to avoid those who were after him. The girl closed her eyes and thought of the gang leader. Mouth said father. As for him, he stepped out of the door and then breathed a sigh of relief. If it came to it, I was going to tell him to come at me, but it's a relief that the little info I knew of became of use. What I know is that the Had sect leader was captured by the Dark Knight Palace for more than 5 years, and that, as a result, the Had sect and the Dark Knight Palace go into battle, causing the Dark Knight Palace to collapse and the battle to come to an end. But during the battle, the Had sect leader dies, resulting in the extinction of the Had sect. However, I don't know the exact location of the Dark Knight Palace. I was lucky. The fact that information like that worked is thanks to the House X branch in Shaanxi, and me meeting the branch leader. This is quite annoying. But I need to do this to find him. The boy who reached the position of top management for the demonic cult at a young age. The tactician. Known as the brain of the demonic cult, Heavenly Fang Zhuge Hyuk. I'm thinking of finding and killing him. Even Soel-Ah struggled because of his tactics. If I don't deal with him in advance, he'll help in the advancement of the demonic cult. But seeing you go for a while in a daze, Mu Yun asked. Anyway, young master, although I don't know who it is you're looking for, if it'll take 3 months, you'll only hear from them at around summer. It seems the people of the house sect aren't as informed as the rumors say they are. I'll only be able to get him in the summer. But after saying that, he thought again. Why did I just think of this? That the Jinchuan Yun clan's secret chamber operated by the first merchant association was discovered? The countless riches stacked within there don't matter. What's important are the priceless spiritual pills. A character who rose to a high stage through the power of spiritual pills would become a demonic human later on, becoming a huge source of strength for the heavenly demon. Zhuge Hyuk is an issue. But so is the secret chamber. Even if I want to prevent that, the secret chamber is in Sichuan. He closed his eyes tight. There's no helping it. Let's give up. There's no way to go to Sichuan. And how would we even find a place that's hidden so well? Let's just buy some honey cookies before going back. Scene changes to the second elder's side. You missed a leaf there. I came all the way because Yang Cheon was causing trouble. To think this old geezer was the root of it all. Wei Haigun smiled back at him. Stop laughing and work. Work. Gu Ryan, what do you think you're doing? Then he clenched his hand, and the broom was crushed immediately. I mean, I'm just assisting you in your disguise as a servant of the Gu clan. Then help me sweep the floor. Second elder was scared and worried. You broke the last one. Then go and pluck your hair to make one. In the end, the second elders were still the ones who had to sit and pick up the debris from the broom. And Wahayagun sat leisurely drinking water. I doubt you came this far just to see that boy. Or maybe you did. Second elder turned his head. Have you sensed it too? The kid who refused to train his footwork and ran away 6 months ago has bested his sister. In addition, the flow of his flame will art has stabilized. Don't you think he has immense talent? We can't just leave him be. I don't know whether to call it talent. I have never seen anyone improve so quickly in my life. There must be something about that child. The first elder will not stay put. If he finds out, he might have already made a move. The first elder is definitely such a person. Where is the boy now? I doubt he'll cause too much trouble, with so many eyes on him. And on Soel-Ah's side, what do you mean? What do you think of coming to me? I can make you happier than he can. But then she hid behind his back. I'm sorry, but this is my servant. Just who are you? Who the hell is this guy who's asking for why Soel-Ah? Look at him blushing. I don't know where he's from, but damn him. He explained, I apologize. I have wronged you, young Gu master. Do you know me? Indeed, I do. My name is Gu Juliop. I would like to request for a spar with the bloodline of the main family. He bluntly replied, I refuse. I won't fight. Are you running away? Yes, I am. Are you scared? Yes, I am. How feeble. Tao Omicron run from something like this. Seeing him say that, he was even more happy. You've got a keen eye. I'm indeed extremely feeble. I caused that mess in the fight against my sister. You think I'd make the same mistake and spar with some random guy? But he didn't know. Right behind him a big shadow appeared. Second elder told him. Why not accept it? What brought you here? When this guy's is bowl him. I greet the second elder. It's been a while, Juliop. Do you know him? Yang Cheon, don't you remember? He's the first elder's grandson. He just noticed now. They do share the same face. The second elder pointed at him. Juliop, do you want to fight this lad? Yes, but he avoided it because he was scared. More like you're here to hit on girls. Is it an order from the first elder? He thought, was that why? It is a well-known fact the first elder is an ambitious man and is waiting till I, the useless one, inherits the clan. However, after seeing me, who he thought was useless, defeat Gu Yanxiu and mess up his plans, he must be trying to use his grandson. Tao Omicron stomped me down again. Just as I had said before, I have no intention of fighting you. The second elder solicited. He came all the way here. Just one match. No. It's obvious I'd lose, so why would I? Then he laughed. This old man has a hunch Yang Cheon won't lose, but he is lazy to argue. Just at a glance, I can tell he's much stronger than sis. I don't want to fight a losing battle, or get mixed up in politics. But suddenly he stepped forward, grabbed Soel-Ah's hand to hold him back. I feel that Yang Cheon is undeserving of you. If you come to me instead of that cowardly freak, I can. Hey. Remove your hand and follow me. When the situation had gone too far, he let out a sigh. I'm starting to regret this. But he once again patted him on the head. Don't be like that. This kind of fun fight with a new martial artist will be sure to help you improve. Yes, anyway, since things turned out as you said, you need to do me a favor, whether I win or lose. I have zero reason to do you a favor. It's only your loss if you lose here. You're the future clan head, after all. Elder, I think you're mistaken. I have no intentions of becoming the clan head. After hearing this, he was suddenly shocked. Then asked again. What are you talking about? Who else could become the clan head other than you? But he think. I already gave up all hopes of becoming one in my past life. But it seems like people think that I want to become the clan head. Then he reply. I'm going to roll on the ground and surrender if you won't do me a favor. Soel-Ah heard and imagined that scene. The second elder heard and felt discouraged. You're so far from adorable. Alright, but on one condition. A condition? I'll do you a favor if you win. Gu Jieliub stood for a long time then asked. Are you all warmed up? Somewhat. I'm sorry about this. What are you talking about? I did too much at last year's duel against you. Who would have known that? You would have been bedridden for a month after that? He tried to recall this. That was a long ass time ago. I don't remember that happening though. I thought back then that you're too weak. I did hear that you won against the second daughter, but I think that is just a coincidence. My grandfather does not seem to think so, but what I hate even more is for a weak man to become the clan head. As soon as he finished speaking, his hand seemed to transmit energy into the sword. He stood still as if nothing had happened. Once again, Gu Jieliub called him the second elder. I would also like something. If I were to win in this duel, that's only fair. What do you want, Jieliub? He pointed his hand towards Soel-Ah. I want that made. Seeing him say that, his smile became much crazier. This little fucker. He found this challenge to his liking and responded. Alright, start the duel. This time, his aura was even more intense than him. He has a little fear in his heart. He spoke in a provocative tone. What are you waiting for? It's only polite to have the weaker opponent get the first attack. Weaker? Who? Me? Is that why you're so afraid right now? In his heart at this moment is thinking. I'm certain that I'm better than him. Whether it's an inner energy, speed, or strength. Is it because of that guy's aura? No way. He's just full of flaws from top to bottom. I'm sure he's trying his hardest to deal with the inner energy I'm exuding right now. And that means, just as he finished thinking, he saw his internal energy immediately shrink back. I knew it. It only makes sense that he'd run out faster since he has less inner energy. Now he's out of inner energy. But Yang Cheon now began to prepare his legs to sag. You said I can attack first, right? Yes, come. As soon as he finished speaking, Yang Cheon appeared right on top of his head with his somersault. He leaned to avoid the gaze and started to regain his confidence. That was a good move, but you're too slow. But unexpectedly, this move was a series of his fists that had come together for this punch. A punch swung directly at his face, leaving him unable to react. One more move before he was sent flying. He jumped up and did 3 somersaults in the air, landing with his foot aimed straight at Jieliub's face. This move caused the surrounding rocks and soil to explode. The first drops of blood on the arena floor appeared and flowed from Jieliub's mouth. Get up while I'm letting you, so that you won't cry that I ambushed you later on. Or are you already done? I do apologize for having underestimated you. I was lacking. Alright, then we're done here. But he stood up again although the wound on his body was still there. I have yet to attack. Yang Cheon thought, I guess this won't be as fast as I wanted. I don't have much time. Usually, I would utilize inner energy by exuding it like what he's doing. But in order to fight someone stronger, I need to embody the inner energy within myself to reinforce my body. However, my body cannot handle inner energy like that yet. If I push myself too much, it might kick off energy deviation. I have 7 minutes. I need to finish this fight within 7 minutes. The sword technique he uses starts and ends with the utilization of friction force between the sword and sheath. If I just watch out for that, preparing to draw the sword out of its sheath, seeing his movement of his eyes seemed to seize the opportunity, immediately leaning forward when his sword slashed. Jieliub's movement was like a storm of flames, spreading around but only missed. But Jieliub refused to give up, continuously slashing towards him. But every movement was skillfully avoided by him. The moves in his technique are so connected and natural. I can tell he's trained hard. However, that also means that if I cut him off, he won't be able to do anything. He started to gather power at a point on his palm while he was approaching his chest. Seeing him show an opening, he appeared behind him, preparing to slash with his sword. At the right moment, he immediately clenched his arm. An explosion behind his back immediately hit Gileub's side. The moment he released all his energy was enough to end this fight. Seeing the power released like this, Gileub couldn't believe it. Gileub can't believe it. How did you manage to exude this kind of energy? While Gileub was still bewildered by this, he gave him a final punch to the middle of the stomach. Following the momentum, Gileub flew straight away and then lay motionless with a hole in the wall. Do you know what I hate the most? Whether you insult me, act like shit, or try to take the clan head position, don't give a single shit. But you tried to take what you dare not covet. I don't like that he tried to take something that he does not deserve so easily. Should I break his arm so he can never try something like that again? A huge arm touched his shoulder. The voice of the elder echoed, "Good work, Yang Cheon. That's enough." Followed by a scolding while he was resting. "You were too harsh." Then he replied. He should have been prepared for that much. He got up on his own and went home after, too. Doesn't that mean he's fine? Aren't you worried about what the first elder is going to do about this? Who cares? I don't care about becoming the clan head anyway. Don't say that. Who else would become the clan head if not you, a direct bloodline? Anyone. Mu alpha upsilon beta epsilon u? Then pointed to Soel-Ah next to him who was eating cake. This isn't something to joke about. When say it, he thought, when is she gonna learn to wield a sword? If she was called the direct disciple of the Sword Supreme, she must have been taught by the Sword Supreme, but she's learning chores all day. I've never seen her near a sword. I don't think she's always been this stupid either. What was it like when I met Soel-Ah this winter? When he remembered this in the past, he suddenly realized it shouldn't have been something that was easily forgotten. Seeing his expression was not quite right, she asked the young master. I knew you hurt your head in that fight. Make me captain before you go to heaven, young master. As soon as she finished speaking, she was hit on the head by him. As for the second elder, he didn't want to mention this matter too much and immediately stood up. Let's talk about this later, I'm sure you're tired. Go rest. But was about to leave when his voice stopped him. Where are you going? You need to keep your promise. So what do you want? Money? Food? Nothing as trivial as that. I'm sure you're powerful enough to help with something really difficult. Am I wrong? What are you gonna ask for? Send me to Sichuan. Hearing him say that, his head still couldn't load. Can't you do that much? You're the elder. Why don't you just go then? I was worried about what kind of favor you were gonna ask. I guess I worried for no reason, but elder, I said Sichuan. Not the marketplace in town or a picnic. You know that the only son of the Gu clan shouldn't be going around wherever he wants. I'm sure you're aware that I need to have an important reason to go somewhere that far. He said, just attend the Tang weapons exhibition. I just now stupidly loaded the information. The Tang weapons exhibition. An event held every year where the Tang clan invites other households to exhibit weapons made by artisans. Well, there's no need to attend, but you could just use that as an excuse to go. If you fought a duel you didn't even want to ask this of me. Elder, that was actually just a joke. I think I was asking for money instead. I see. Then his eyes became serious. I didn't even realize. I guess getting old really is scary. If not money, then at least a spiritual pill. Then on his excited face along with his assertive words. All right. I'll send you to Sichuan as early as I can. I'll show you the power of an elder. Elder, I take it back. Please just give me something else. He refused to listen to these words from him anymore. Mouth shouted loudly like determination. I'll send you to Sichuan right now. He heard and froze. There's no way that's possible. You'd need to report that first, and I'd need to get ready. It's an urgent order from the elder. Send young master Yang Cheon to Sichuan right now. He was still frozen, unable to react to his godlike speed. Young master, we're ready to leave. Still this body and movement, he was very quickly sitting on the car. Very quickly there were sounds of waving. Goodbye. From afar. Have fun. Seeing him leave, Hyagun also turned around and went in. Now let's get to work. Me too? Of course. You want to have an old man like me do all the work? Then the second elder said, there's only two of us. Please listen to my worries. See the second leader babbling. It sounds like you sent him off in a hurry just to tell me your worries. A few days ago, the clan head asked me about the immortal physician. It seemed like he was asking because someone asked him to. Why the immortal physician? Seeing no response, the second elder continued speaking. If you're not gonna say it, then I'll change the topic. Your granddaughter was She Soel-Ah? She didn't seem human. What is she? You're crossing the line, Gu Ryan. Watch your mouth. Hyagun revealed his aura along with his sword intent, but the second elder still said, if she were human, I would sense a presence similar to yours. The vividness of the presence only differs from person to person, but when I first met her at the Unified Dragon Assembly, that child had no presence at all. If you think that the immortal physician could come down to fix her with divine skills, you better give up that dream. You know better than Mu Epsilon that that is no disease. That's enough, Gu Ryan. That child is human. The second elder finished asking these questions, then closed his eyes and turned to leave. If you say so. If you wish to defend her, then do so. What I want is not important. What if she's not human? I just need to help to make up for what she lacks in humanity. At this time Hyagun also cancels the intent swords with a gloomy sadness. His hands clenched. If need be, I will give my life for it. Soel-Ah, please grow up safe and sound. A few hours after, the Sword Supreme will realize that Soel-Ah has disappeared. The sky gradually turned to evening. Now we just need to prepare the food. We still have a few days until we get to Sichuan. We'll have to ration our food. Where did the young master go? I heard that he's going to be training while we prepare things. I guess he must be bored. We should have brought Soel-Ah. And he is still constantly practicing martial arts to improve his physical strength. The last blow also caused Cho to dent the tree into a large lake and then sit down on the ground, breathing heavily. I only did a few moves, but I'm already out of inner energy. It's been almost 10 days since we left, and despite consistent training, I'm not seeing much progress. The biggest problem I faced during the fight against Juliop was the amount of inner energy I have. Inner energy is the basis of all martial arts, so I need to hurry and raise it. Remember before that his hand absorbed the technique. The demon well absorption art is a way to absorb inner energy from a demonic stone, like from a spiritual pill. However, you also end up taking in demonic energy into the body, corrupting the user. For some reason, the Gu Flame will art purified that demonic energy. After that, I haven't felt any demonic energy, so I feel like I could raise my inner energy without side effects. But this is still the Heavenly Demon's martial art. It'd be best for me to not use it, and I barely managed to escape. I can't get back on the damned demonic path again. But suddenly there was a loud scream from the crowd that made him turn his head in surprise. He thought again, what the hell is this? Then he walked back and asked, what's going on? Young master. It's in the carriage. He opened the door and looked in. The image of Soel-Ah innocently crawled out from inside. Young master, I ended up coming. Come back in the afternoon. Soel-Ah wants to go too. Nope. You're still bad at housework. Then why did you let me go last time? You mean the Unified Dragon Assembly? Because there were people who could have prevented you from making mistakes there. But there isn't anyone to do that for you in Sichuan. If you understand, help me move this stuff. She looked at the pile of folded clothes and said as she carried them. He said he won't be back for a month at least. But it's true that Soel-Ah is bad at housework. Young master hates unhelpful people too, so I guess Soel-Ah has no choice. But as she was putting away her clothes, a voice spoke up. Who? No one's there. I feel like I heard the voice from this box. Then a white arm suddenly pushed her forward. By inertia she crawled inside. From inside she looked out. Someone pushed me. Who is it? You shouldn't play pranks. Then two hands appeared again and made her sleepy. And then she lay in the storage room without anyone knowing. Let's get going then. Young master, we're done with the preparations. Then a voice as if asking for help, I'm leaving this up to you. That's what happened. Her words left the three of them at a loss for words, but she emphasized once again. That's what happened. Okay, I heard you the first time. So you were possessed by a ghost? Yes, that's right, go back. Is what she should have done. Young master. An owl. I tried eating one before, and they're really chewy. Wow, a squirrel this time. So you've eaten a squirrel too. How could you eat a squirrel? You're so cruel. No more cookies. He looked at her and thought, originally, I would have had a bodyguard take her home, but she's already come too far. And we don't have enough food to give them. Now we're just traveling together. She said, young master, let's trade this for a cookie. Seeing her like that, he immediately threw the cake out the window to vent his anger. No. My cookie. Then tilted his head up to the sky and sighed through the window. I should have just sent you back. But at this moment he felt for monsters nearby. Immediately remind Mu-yun, yes, everyone, stop. I knew it was too peaceful to be true. It seems like 4, outside the monsters are rushing. But suddenly there was a slash that killed one. He feel again only see 3 left. Then another sword slash in half to kill again. 2, 1. Then one was lunging towards him. He seemed to know the situation in advance. A hand gathered his fist and prepared to aim. But as he was preparing to punch, a voice from afar reminded. Please fall back. The girl on the hand holding the sword quickly, as if checking a move, cut the monster in half. Then she put her sword back. The girl walked up and said to Mu-yun, I wasn't able to take care of them properly because I was here alone. While looking towards Mu-yun, Soel asked Yang Cheon, who is he talking to? Don't ask me. But Soel quickly waved her hand. Only now could he see his face clearly. His expression immediately changed. He remembered the scene of this woman killing people, blood flowing like a river. The girl now asked him, it looks like you're headed to Sichuan. While interweaving past and present, there's no one here. Could I come with you? My name is Namgung Byar. He looked and scolded himself. Why is this crazy girl here? Remembering the scene of a place where crows could find corpses to eat the dead people lying around, with blood flowing non-stop. At that time he and Namgung Byar stood there. You're the only survivor. Did you kill them all? What did the cult leader say? They told me to bring you here and that you'd rampage like a crazy human. Isn't that last part just what you wanted to say? I guess you have enough sense to understand that much. Let's go. No, not that way. Go left. No, that's your right. Just don't do anything weird and follow Mu Epsilon. There's something I want to ask. Is the Sword Supreme strong? I'm warning you just in case. The Sword Supreme is someone the cult leader will deal with. What is his swordsmanship like? Is it stronger than mine? Stronger than the cult leader's? After walking a little further, she suddenly looked in another direction. He then gathered his weapon in his hand and threw it towards her. You crazy. Part towards her, suddenly his move was like being split in 2 halves, then exploded behind her. Her eyes were full of anger at that moment. What the heck, do you want to fight? He sighed and pointed again, wrong way. If you understand what I'm saying, just shut up and follow me. So she walked with him a little further. He said and turned back. If you mention the 3 Supremes again, I'll rip you apart. But she again pointed her hand in the other direction. This way looks like a shortcut. He was furious to the extreme. She once again evaporated without listening to his instructions. Damn it, I wonder where that crazy girl went. I arrived at the destination within a day. While Namgung Byar took 4 times as long. Back to reality. Namgung Byar said to him. I assume you're heading towards Sichuan. If it isn't rude to ask, can I accompany you there? He flatly refused. Nope. We're not going to Sichuan, and it's definitely rude to ask. And thought, I'd be crazy to get involved with that insane girl again. Even with all that, I have a lot more I want to say. But more importantly, we can't just take your word that you are of the Namgung clan. She loaded it, not believing it for a moment, then replied, so that's it? Then her eyes gradually closed, her body began to accumulate thunderstorms, and storms appeared. And just like that, a source of energy from her shot straight up into the sky. Seeing this beam of light, Mu-yun began to prepare his sword to protect him, the ruler's sword form. If she uses that here dash. Then she opened her eyes once more. An explosion bombarded the entire night sky. This is all I can demonstrate for now, as I am not yet adept. For fear that she would harm Yang Cheon, but she was not afraid at all. Would this be sufficient evidence? You really are from the Namgung clan. Sorry to say, but I definitely think we shouldn't accompany someone not with martial arts so fearsome. But a moment later saw her sitting looking at a toad roasting in front of the fire. Soel looks like that, then asks him, she's going to sleep there? I know. While I was relieved she didn't say anything when I rejected her. And why is she following us even when I said we weren't going to Sichuan? Ignoring her is the best thing I can do. I must treat her as if she doesn't exist. Don't do unnecessary things such as talking to. But now he sees Soel-Ah is not here. Soel-Ah go to where Byar at. You can peel the frog's skin like this. But before she could say a second word, a hand grabbed his collar and pulled her out. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She was gonna eat a frog, so Soel-Ah was helping. I told you not to mess around. I did. Then Byar's eyes looked at him, as if she had done something wrong to him. He avoided her gaze. I understand that you're a part of the Namgung clan, but why are you like that about accompanying? She said while shyly turning her face away. We departed together, but I got lost on the way. I am sure about it. She had zero sense of direction in my previous life. Why did I think that there'd be a different reason now? We aren't even going to Sichuan, so why are you following us? I had a big hunch you were heading there, but it seems like you really weren't heading to Sichuan. Soer heard that and found it strange. Then looked up at him as if to give her information, but he shook his head. She was startled at this moment. We're not going to Sichuan? He thought regretfully. I should have sent her back. We can't stop you from heading in the same direction, but I'm not doing anything for you. I am Namgung Byar, yes, I'm aware, since I've introduced myself, could you do the same? But having said this, he thought for a moment and changed his name. Gu Juliop. I'm Gu Juliep of the Gu clan. The crowd still went on the carriage, but Soer got off the carriage and went with Bia. Naturally, our pace slowed down. He finally decided to call her, hey, get on. Are you letting her in too? Absolutely not. In that case, I don't want to. Then he asked Mu Yun. My Yun, how much longer? We'd arrive in a day if we were going at our original pace. What about our current pace? It'd probably take around 3 days. Young master. While I don't know why you're so wary of her, can't you ride with that lady? He signed, I don't have a choice, do I? Let's reconsider our options at a nearby village. They got off the carriage and said, 1 day left to go, right? Yes, it's nice that we don't have to camp out in the wilderness tonight. Soer was carried by Bia and then spoke. Let's sleep together, miss. Really? Is that okay? I permitted it, didn't I? Get down from her back. Why are you carrying a maid on your back? She said her legs hurt. Get on the carriage if your legs hurt. You told her not to get on. We're here now, so stop being rude and get off of her. Will you come down now, Soer? Seeing that, Soer raised her head and looked forward, then pointed her hand. There are people in the same clothes as you coming over here. The other guys saw Namgung Byar and immediately ran over. Sister. Where were you? Do you know how hard we've been looking for you? Sorry. I got lost. That's why I said we should tie ropes to each other. That would be embarrassing. That's why you went and disappeared not even a day in? I was worried sick about you. But, who might you be? Soer quickly reply him. I'm Soer. This is my young master. Get down right now. Then he thought if he's her younger brother, then he must be the future lightning blade, one of the 5 great swordsmen of Murim, the current lightning dragon, Namgung Cheon. The young man then realized Yang Cheon. Sorry for the late introduction. I'm Namgung Cheon of the Namgung clan. I'm Guya Gu Jiliup of the Gu clan. It's an honor to meet you here. An honor? You're being too nice. Then his eyes just change. But why is it that you're with my sister? Hearing that, his body involuntarily jerked. We coincidentally came across each other on our way to Sichuan, so we got here together. I thought you weren't going. I also walked here, Chanjin said with him. It seems like my sister intruded on your party. If it's okay with you, why don't you stay in one of the rooms we booked? We booked quite a few. It's okay. We just did what was natural. Then he thought as he looked at Bia. I'm sorry, but I don't want Tio be involved with that crazy girl anymore. I'm sure we'll be able to find another room. But at this moment, Mu Yun came to bring the news. Young master, apparently, there are no more rooms available. Then prepare Tio camp outside. Mu Yun's tears were about to cry. Young master, we are tired from days of camping outdoors. Do you intend on making us sleep outdoors again? Of course, we'll be alright but, well then. I'll accept your offer. The first thing Namgung Byar did as a demonic martial artist was neutralize her own clan. Her brother as well as the clan head, and all the disciples. After this, she achieved the title Demonic Blade Empress and began her rise to fame. I wondered how much she hated them to have done something so cruel to her own clan. But I don't see any problems other than her relationship with the lightning dragon. I thought they would be more like Gu Yanseo and I. What I'm most curious about is the Namgung clan's secret technique, ruler's sword form. I feel like she must be stronger than the lightning dragon considering that technique, but at this point in time, she has no title nor fame. Her brother seemed normal though. Is there some problem I can't see? But just stepped out and met her younger brother. He still gently replied, "Did you sleep well? Thank you for giving us such a nice room." But surprisingly he still walked straight, even nudged him, and spoke in a provocative voice. "You should know your place. I tried to be nice for once, but you just don't seem to know your place. I'm telling you that you don't deserve to talk to my sister. I don't know how you managed to seduce my innocent sister, but if this happens again, I will cut you in half." And that girl that was on her back. Just at this moment her door opened, Chonjin's voice and demeanor suddenly changed to gentle again. "I'm glad that you slept well. I am grateful to be able to help someone of the Gu clan. We'll go and have breakfast now." Then push her go with him. I looked bored and didn't even bother to say anything. They were all insane. When he stepped outside, Mu Yun was already waiting. "Did you sleep well, young master?" "The Namgung clan. Yeah, don't mention them. When are we gonna leave?" "We have already finished preparations. We'll be able to leave right after eating breakfast. I'm so relieved that you're normal at least." "Thank you." He opened the door and urged Soel, "Let's hurry." Then think. I want to get away from these Namgung people as quickly as possible. Bia see him, reply. "Sorry for not being able to say hi earlier." "You're here, young master. The dumplings here are really good. Have some. You can have mine too. Do we have to eat together?" Then he walked into the seat but pushed the two people to one side. "It's okay, for her to eat with me, but you shouldn't be here. Shouldn't you be eating with them over there?" On the other side, Chonjin was looking over with a fierce expression. "I just sat wherever was closest. Your brother is glaring at me like he wants me dead right now," she still said innocently. "And oh wait up, then turn around and look. Doesn't look like he is. Is he okay?" I don't know what she's trying to do, but this is the last time I want to see them until the Tang Weapons exhibition. He finished a piece of dumpling and immediately stood up. "Then I'll get going. You're not done eating though. Let's never meet again after that." Then stand up and go outside looking towards Bia. "Then please enjoy your meal." Seeing this scene, Bia fell into deep thought. Her younger brother came over and asked with concern, "Sister, we were all sitting over there. Why did you sit here instead?" But when her eyes turned back to look at her younger brother, she couldn't help but sweat, because she felt the intense aura radiating from her younger brother, making her feel uncomfortable. Because this was more convenient. "Sit with us next time." Then she watched his figure leave again. Seeing her stand up, he asked, "Sister, you're not done eating. Where are you going?" "The carriage. I'm going to go rest." Then he saw his sister go out to greet him. He was inside the house, angry. "Hate Taiwan people interfere in our relationship." But his life was still at a standstill when he encountered this. "Sorry, but why are you still following us?" "I'm not following you. I'm accompanying you. Let's put it that way." "Then why did you get on here, even though your companion is right there?" "That's..." Soel happily replied. Soel brought her here. He was angry but could not say anything. Mu Yun, get both of them out of here now. They'll end up getting off by themselves. We have just arrived in Sichuan. The Sichuan Tang clan. It is an extremely prestigious Orthodox clan that has had their roots in the Sichuan region for centuries. The Namgung family's sharpness, the Hebei Peng clan's vigor, the Moyong clan's precision. The Tang clan may seem lacking compared to the other clans, but they are known as the best handlers of poison and steel by far. The Tang weapons exhibition is the result of that confidence. He thought for a while. 3 days. I need to find the treasury within 3 days after the Tang weapons exhibition ends. All I know is that it's in Sichuan, and the general area it is in. How am I going to find it in such a large CIT dash? If I can't find it, I might have to resort to leaking it to the beggar sect. So I'll need to hurry as much as I can. But when he turned his head, Soer suddenly came, making him jump in surprise. What is she doing here, though? But Soer's eyes became bright and sparkling as if they had never experienced life. It's the first time I've been somewhere so high. The wind is also so cool. The fireflies are dancing under the moonlight. BIA also told me about a pretty lake over there. then walked over and grabbed his hand and pulled him away. Let's go take a look together. Lotus Pond where fireflies were flying around, he answered casually. The story is really big. How large does a clan need to be for a forest to be inside of it? Then she called him again. Where do you think Soar's hiding? While she held up 2 flowers and smiled. Cut it out, okay? I just wanted to cheer you up, young master. It's not something you can help with, so quit worrying. No. Maybe if you tell me, I might be able to help. Yeah, well, if someone were to hide some valuables in this vast land, where would they hide it? Why did they need to hide it? Meanies. I'm not asking for emotional support. In the distance, a figure walked towards the 2 people. Who are you? Outsiders are not allowed to traverse here, he just realized now. Speaking of the Tang clan, I forgot about her. The one who single-handedly stopped the swarm of several thousand demonic humans attacking Sichuan. The girl came closer and asked him, who are you? Poison Queen Tang Soel. A woman I kill in my past life. At that time, his whole body was covered in a pool of blood. He slowly walked forward with his eyes full of no emotion. All done, Poison Queen. At that time her eyes were filled with blood. Hearing the voice also guessed. Is it you? A silly sight. Your kin had already deserted long ago. What did you think would change if you guarded this place by yourself? Nothing would change. Then why? And? What made you come here? That's a stupid question. To end your damned life. I see. I'm very sorry. Apologizing to a demonic human? Are you out of your mind, Poison Queen? Yes. I believe my sanity must have finally broken. There are too many things I only see now, after losing my eyes. Should have let go earlier. Your nonsense is over. Is that all you have to say? I know it is selfish of me to ask, but if there is time left in this world, you. But before Cho could finish speaking, he directly used his hand to strangle her to death, then turned away. He looked down at his bloody hand, cross. But at this moment her voice woke him up. Are you not answering me? I guess she's still the Poison Peak now? If you don't answer, I will call the guards. Suddenly an arm from behind patted her shoulder, followed by whispers between the 2. Why are you only telling me now? You never asked. Once again Soel stepped towards him shyly. I am Tang Soel of the Tang clan. I apologize for raising my voice at a guest of the family. I'm Gu Juliop. I apologize for not being able to answer in my surprise. But very quickly her eyes changed. So what business brings you here? Those who are not a member of our clan may not. Is Bir not an outsider too? Our clan has allowed it, so it's fine, I think. So she's telling me to leave because she hasn't allowed me in. How petty. I was going to leave anyway. I'll be on my way, then. He and So are left, leaving her and Bia behind. Soel said, Gu Juliop of the Gu clan? Unbelievably rude, right? Soel, why did you glare at him so harshly? I didn't like how he didn't apologize even after I pointed out his mistake. Are good looks everything? I hate guys who act all rude just because they look a little handsome. As soon as she said that, her face turned red with embarrassment. Then she realized that what she said was too much and wanted to explain again. I mean, by saying he's handsome, I mean, seeing the stuttering scene, Bia thought of him. Handsome? Soel was embarrassed and had difficulty explaining, so he concluded with a sentence. You know, guys who are homely, even if they are a little ugly, are the best. Meanwhile, he and Soar were still walking back to the room together. The next morning he was about to open the door and go out. The Tang Weapons exhibition is tomorrow, so I should do some training in my free time. But when he opened the door, he met the 2 Namgong sisters. What business do you have today? She stuttered. Food. What food? What do you mean, food? Chanjin explained. The Tang clan has invited us for a meal and my sister suggested inviting you as well, so we came to ask. I see. You know, I'm grateful for the offer, but my personality is pretty shy, and I'd be uncomfortable. Then looked at the eyes a little unhappy. They better get my message to just leave. But Chanjin still insisted on speaking. Don't be like that. Then used a strong force to grab his hand. Although he hated it, he still tried to smile and said to him, come with us. The hell, I said I didn't want to go. He's willing to threaten mu epsilon tau omicron bring me there? Then he radiated an oppressive aura towards him. See the pressure he radiates. His body felt fear but still did not see him fall back. I need to go, I guess. Then he pretended to smile his silly smile. I guess I can't refuse such a thoughtful invitation. I'll come with you. He used his hand to put it around his neck and pulled him forward, then whisper. Keep fucking smiling, your lovely sister is watching you, you know? Seeing that, he became even angrier, trying to swallow his anger. Thank you for exceptioning, no problem, I couldn't refuse a request like that. Then the crowd sat at the party, he looked at the pile of things on the table and thought, I knew Sichuan was known for their spicy food, but if every dish is spicy, what do they expect me to eat? Juyak, the son of the Tang clan leader, spoke up. It's nothing fancy, but I hope you enjoy. He looked at the red dumpling. Maybe the dumplings might be edible? It's a little less red than the others. But when he was about to put it in his mouth, Soil's eyes looked at him. What's with her? She always gave me that weird look in my previous life, whenever I ran into her too. I can't believe I need to endure that same look again. But when he bit it, his tongue immediately burned. Why is it so hot? I need somewhere to spit it out. It's just too spicy. Next to him saw that gave him a glass of water. Here, water. He quickly reached out and took it. Phew. Thank you. Then picked up a piece of fish for him, placed it on the plate in front of him. Try this. It's not spicy. He just realized she was sitting right next to him. Why did you suddenly give it to me? Sorry. Chanjin looked at the two of them angrily. His hand gripped his chopsticks so tightly that the chopsticks instantly broke into many pieces. Seeing that, Tang Juyak asked him, Oh, sorry, the chopsticks must have been defective. It's my bad. I tend to use chopsticks a little forcefully, but what was more surprising was that Soil also came down and sat right next to him. Seeing that, he asked, anything you want to say to me? Yes, no, I mean, nothing? You seemed like you really wanted to. Then said to him, I asked there anything you like. But before Soil could finish his sentence, Chanjin asked Juyak. Yes, it's our clan's kin exclusive training area. Didn't I show it to you last time? We do maintain it, but honestly nobody really uses it. All of us have our own personal training area. I'd like to visit. Could I? Well, it seems like everyone's done chatting. Let's head down there together. What is he thinking? Then everyone walked down to the training ground together. It's quite spacious. Well, our ancestors thought the larger the better. But I don't really get it, to be honest. I'm sure there was some deep meaning behind it. Soil used to use it often trying to beat me up. But now that she's grown up, she doesn't want to fight me anymore. Then she lowered her voice as if to explain to him. Well, that's, oh, I see. I'm grateful I don't have a younger sister like her. Well, now that we've eaten, let's move around a bit to digest. How does this sound? Want to have a sparring match with Mu Epsilon? Then deliberately split the sword towards Yang Cheon. I knew it. His face is filled with intent to give me a thrashing. You think I'm going to go along with your plan? He raised both hands. A third rate like me, fighting the lightning dragon. Sorry, but Soil now stands up for him. Unacceptable. The two of you have such a massive difference in age and skill. What if it hurts his face? He looks and thinks, this silly girl. It's alright. Neither of us will use our internal energy. If we do it more like a mentoring match, it should be fine then, right? How does it sound? Then looked at him with contempt. Mentor me? Not use energy? Look at this guy. He said, can you handle it? I mean, are you skilled enough for that? Then Juyak saw and wanted to stop it. I think you may have phrased it a little too rudely, he's still your senior. But this guy laugh and talk. Alright then, let's see how great you are. Then fly out with his mighty spirit. He smiled and said to him, I'll allow you to go. But Yang Cheon also said the same thing. Yes, I'll let you have the first attack. His words seemed to anger him. I won't turn that down. I'll strike first. Holding the sword, rushing straight towards him, the first sword strike was very fast. He leaned slightly to avoid. Continued with the second move, striking from below. He raised his neck to dodge. Then he guessed. Both of those attacks were just for showed up. The real attack starts now. Then he changed the direction of his sword, and the two sides continued to struggle with each other. Outside, Soil also couldn't believe her eyes, then remembered, she was different from other children. While children her age chased after dogs or cats, she frolicked with beasts like wolves or tigers instead. The slanted, ferocious eyes, and the growling, revealing sharp fangs. As beasts that were apex predators, they gave off an unapproachable aura. That power, which differentiated them from other feeble animals, was what entranced her the most. Thanks to this peculiar preference, the young girl had trouble finding love. I wonder if there's a guy like you, Donglong. I hope I meet someone at the Tang Weapon exhibition this time round. Chunjun? I don't know why other girls love his feminine-looking face. Is there no man that looks like you, Donglong? And so, she finally met the love of her life who she had never expected. Why? Why is my heart beating so fast? This isn't good. I must be confused. A lapse of judgment caused by the cold morning air. He'll be just like the other ugly clan heirs when I wake up tomorrow. But when he went to eat earlier, she looked at him with eyes full of radiant light. His eyes are so cool. He can't eat hot stuff? How cool. Even him drinking water is cute. Then had the same expression as just now to sit right next to him. When did I get over here? If this is what love feels like, then maybe I can take another step. But at this moment, a piece of wooden sword pierced the tiled floor right under her feet. When the two people now encountered each other, the sword was broken into many pieces. He smiled his confident smile. As for Soel behind, he sat down on the ground when she saw these two people fighting and couldn't help but blush. Chonjin thought to himself, why did my sword break? I made sure he could react my first 2 attacks to play with that wretch, but I went all out afterwards. Yang Cheon said, so-called geniuses seem to have a habit of daydreaming while fighting. If this was a real battle, you would have already died 3 times. Then prepared to use his fist to attack him once more. But he instinctively knew there was danger, and immediately retreated, very quickly avoid this punch. Dirty bastard. He's attacking an opponent without a sword? Behind you. Go get a sword that's intact. He said teasingly as he gave him another chance. You said this was like a mentoring match, right? Teach me a lesson, then. Seeing the sarcasm, he became even angrier. He sarcastically added again, oh, or am I the one teaching you? Education isn't my strongest suit. But a second later, he realized something was wrong with him. That bastard. At this moment, he was like being controlled by madness. The sword began to be surrounded by internal energy, then used high speed to slash straight towards him. His eyes also became angry because of that. His fist also became stronger. Using internal energy? I'll fuck you up. The two people at this moment, one sword one punch, rushed forward together. His sword slashed out like hundreds of flying swords. But just a second later, it seemed to shatter under his attack. No way. This is bullshit. Some imbecile like him is stronger than me? He smiled again. I've let you off enough times now, right, you bastard? He used his foot to kick him straight in the groin. Seeing this scene, the people outside were shocked. As for him, he was numb, feeling pain all the way to his navel. The sound of cracking and cracking the egg seemed to have been broken by force, directly hugged the lower part. Then he slowly sat down again. What? Did it burst? At this moment the pain penetrated his heart and liver, he could only make a sound. Sweating all over, unable to resist scolding him. Bastard. Seeing as how you're still talking, I guess it didn't burst. You coward, you don't deserve to call yourself a martial artist. Once all the clans know about this, you'll have to walk with your head lowered everywhere. But suddenly he asked a question. How many have you killed? These words surprised him. At least 10 people, right? What? What are you talking about? He started using his fingers to pull up his shirt, then used his other hand to grab the other hand as if he was about to twist it. Juliok ran to stop it. Juliok, this is enough. Please stop the fight here. But he explained, not only did he infuse his sword with energy, but didn't you also feel the bloodlust that he had? Do you think he made such a mistake because he was immature? This asshole is older than I am. Chunjun belongs to the Namgung clan. Don't you already know very well what would happen if you continue with what you're doing? I'm already holding myself back a lot because he's from the Namgung clan. If our positions were reversed, what do you think would have happened? Just like that, the cracking sound rang out. The cracking sounds came from the direction of Chonjin, making Chonjin even angrier at him, along with the pain of being tortured by him. He walked out with an expressionless face, waving his hands as if the matter was over. But very quickly his face changed again to a bit of worry. Did I just get into trouble? I wonder what the second elder would say if I told him I bloodied up one of the Namgung clan members. He'll probably let it go if I give him a rough explanation. He might actually praise me and say I did a good job. Well, I have a witness, and he's the one who was in the wrong to begin with. But suddenly an arm grabbed his sleeve. He turned back. Who's that? Bayak said hesitantly. Name, tell me your name. He immediately pushed her hand off his shirt. Didn't I already tell you? I'm Gu Juliop. That's a lie. How did she know? Why do you want to know my name? To get revenge for your brother? But her expression at this moment did not show any concern about that. Her expression remained the same even though I beat her brother up so badly. She walked towards him and said it again. Tell me your real name. But he said, why have you been talking like we're friends, though? She was now shy and did not dare to look straight at him. If I tell you my name, will you stop following me? She said nothing, just nodded vigorously. He hesitated for a moment. Yang Cheon. Hearing this, her eyes looked down a little shyly, mouth repeating his name. Then he left that place thinking in his head. I don't think I can attend the Tang Weapons exhibition since I beat up that Namgung brat. This is better. I earned myself an extra day to look for the secret chamber. I'm a little tired after that fight. I'll rest a little first. Then he imagined when he went home, Mu Yun shouted, Young Master Yang Cheon, I heard you sent the Namgung clan's young master flying. This won't do. Starting today, I'll follow you all around until we return to make sure you don't get into any more trouble. Then he decided not to return, go to another place. In the room, Soel-Ah still sat outside absent-mindedly. Mu Yun hurriedly opened the door calling his name. Young Master, attendant Wee, what are you doing here? No, I mean, have you seen Young Master Yang Cheon? Young Master Yang Cheon, I haven't seen him, but what's the matter? After going for a meal appointment with the clans this morning, he has yet to return. And, he also beat up a Namgung clan member. How do I report this? But suddenly her eyes became extremely strange, no longer innocent as usual. Then step outside looking towards town. The Yun clan of Yang Cheon, a martial arts clan that was the best merchant clan in Central Plains several centuries ago. They were a clan that had the strongest martial artist and also a tight rein on the flow of money back then. Even this very Yun clan that seemed like nothing could bring it down disappeared after a bloodshed. No one knows the reason behind the Yun clan's sudden disappearance, but based on the records left behind, all the secrets of the Yun clan are hidden under the white maple tree. He said, White maple tree, my ass. I don't even see any normal maple trees around. Also, it's not even autumn now. Where do I find maple trees? By now, it has probably become a dead tree. Additionally, it's supposed to be under a white maple tree. Maybe someone spread this rumor as a prank. I didn't eat anything for the whole day and I used up my energy in a fight. Now, I'm climbing a mountain in the middle of the night. But very quickly behind him, a person carrying a large bag came over and handed him the familiar honey cake. Do you want this, then? You being a greedy pig sure helps in times like this. I'm not a pig. Is that large sack of things full of food? Yes, that's a relief. I was just thinking if I should go back because I'm feeling really hungry. Was I of help? Yeah, you were. But now he realized, what are you doing here though? She smiled again and explained to him. He sat on the pile of food she had brought, and she told him. People started to look for me after finding out that I went missing, and you came all the way here just to find me? Yes, that's right. How did you know I was in the mountains? A gut feeling? Now that I'm here, you can rest easy. Sit down. You're going to get sand in the food. Then he thought, even though my hunger problem has been resolved, it doesn't change the fact that I can't find the white maple tree. Even if we search this place for 3 days using the remaining rations we have, there's no guarantee that we'll find it. Should I give up here? Then he ate and talked. Where would a white maple tree be in early summer? That's such a blatant lie. It's not a lie. It looked really pretty when I saw it just now. Yeah, it probably would be really pretty. But he once again flinched at the shock, before finishing the sentence. What did you just say? You saw it? Yes, I saw it together with you. Me, with me? She happily smiled and replied yes. Yang Cheon asked Soel-Ah, are you saying this tree is a white maple tree? Soel-Ah responded confidently, yes, young master. Yang Cheon immediately said, you should go back quickly. Why? Go get your eyes checked first. How does this tree resemble a white maple? Soel retorts, young master, are your eyes okay? It's a white maple tree. Yeah, I was wrong to believe you. Soel-Ah replied sulkily. Soel-Ah is not lying. Suddenly a voice appeared. You are not wrong. Then Soel-Ah also turned back to look. Then she suddenly became paralyzed as if someone was controlling her. While Yang Cheon was busy thinking, I came here because I was worried that the problem was still unresolved. Could I find it in the time left in this large place? Rather than wasting time like this, it might be more worthwhile to head back and receive training from the second elder. Although, I don't know if he'll teach me properly. Then there was a noise that made him turn his head to look. Then saw Soel-Ah touching something, and shouted, hey, what are you doing? Get away, while thinking. I don't know what it is, but it is definitely dangerous. Soel-Ah kept touching the crack while he was running back there, you stupid. Then an explosion happened. It opened a gate to enter the barrier, made him blinded and had to cover his eyes with his hands. After regaining his vision, he was surprised by what he saw. That is the white maple he is looking for. She excitedly asked Yang Cheon. Do you see that? It is real, right? He wondered what happened. Apparently it was just a dead tree before. I don't know what Sui did, but space suddenly cracked and this tree appeared. Was that the mechanism that was created to hide the treasury? How did she know? Hey, yes, what did you do just now? Soel-Ah do what? You just did something to make the tree appear. What did Soel-Ah do? Yeah, what did you do? When you come close and touch it, Soel-Ah did that. Yang Cheon was annoyed and didn't know what to say to her stupidity. Oh right, I think it's not you. I can question her later. I found the white maple tree, so where is the treasure hidden? It seems not on the surface, so. He went behind the tree and saw a deep purple entrance, then exclaimed, shit, so that's what under a white maple tree meant. Before he could finish, Soel-Ah said, that's the entrance and jumped down there. Hey, Soel-Ah go first, come here young master. He just clicked his tongue and jumped down after her. I guess there's no other choice. Behind them, a shadow of a stranger appeared as if he was following them. Yang Cheon exclaimed after jumping down. Luckily the fall wasn't that painful compared to the height. He saw Soel-Ah standing there dumbfounded and said, stop acting so thoughtlessly. Then saw two forks in the road ahead. This is definitely a treasure, but which way should we go? While Soel-Ah was using her antenna hair power and pointing in one direction, that way. She insisted, this is definitely the way, how would you? He was about to say that but then remembered the moment the white maple tree appeared. Okay, let's head that way. Wow, the young master is listening to Soel-Ah today. Young master is a good boy. He just told himself, I will shut up for now. After the two walked a distance, the follower jumped down and followed them. The scene changes back to Yang Cheon and Soel-Ah. Yang Cheon asks, hey, is this the right way? We've walked for a while, but I still don't see the end. The glowstones are getting sparser, and it's getting darker, or are we going the wrong way? Yep, just trust Soel-Ah, good young master. Shut up. Go on a bit further, then she happily raised her hand and said we're there. Yang Cheon said, stop being so annoying, then knocked her on the head. While starting to look at this place. Unlike the outside, the glowstones here have lost their light, and there is nothing here. Is this really the treasury? While he was thinking, Soel-Ah called him, something is here. She saw a white part flash by and screamed in panic. Young master, it is demonic beast. She called again, young master. Yang Cheon told her to be quiet, then thought, why is there a demonic beast here? Clearly can't sense anything. Why did it appear? Moreover, with this size, it seems like it's at least a blue-rank demonic beast. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to have woken up yet. If we just quietly exit. Then the snake suddenly woke up. Shit, why did it just wake up? Do I need to fight? I don't think I can take this. Will things be okay? While he was not paying attention, Soel-Ah's eyes gradually turned yellow. Soel-Ah saw him scared looking at the snake made her eyes a little sad. The chance to live peacefully has just come, I can't let it go to waste. Even if I die, I'll die fight. The snake immediately said, child, relax yourself. I have no intention of harming you. Yang Cheon is surprised that the demonic beast can talk. Yang Cheon asked, how can a demonic beast speak the human tongue? The snake smiled and said, a demonic beast. I am curious, how did a child that is not of the Yun bloodline find himself here? He replied, I was just looing around. I see, so that was what happened. For what purpose did you come here? I just came in here by coincidence, mister. Then think, if the snake is related to the Jinchuan Yun, I can't reveal why I'm here. Wait. Did I just say mister? Yes, I am sorry to say, but there are not any items you might want left here. Child, let me ask you one question. What do you think fate is? What kind of stupid question is that? The snake burst out laughing. Yang Cheon wondered, what's up with him? Has he gone senile? So, I asked a strange question. I should already know just by the fact that a child who is not of the Yun is here. That the Yun clan has already passed away. What regrets did I have for things that would vanish and for what did I endure? Yang Cheon said, so, we will be on our way. As they were about to leave, the snake threw out a crystal. What is that? The snake explained. A payment for playing along with this old man. Enter someone's hands, it's better that it'd be you who I've met. Demonic stone, it doesn't seem to be. With what you carry within you, you will accept it more easily than others. Carry what? While he was still wondering, the crystal suddenly glowed. What? I couldn't sense that it was a demonic stone at all. Damned demon well absorption art, but it feels different from when I absorbed the demonic stone. He struggled to resist the force that erupted from it. Soel-Ah raised her hand towards him. He don't know why, but he felt better and then he started to fall asleep. The snake said to Soel-Ah, "Are you satisfied? It is not a matter of my satisfaction." Then she burst out a golden aura around her body. "Hey, you should put your aura away. Such a strong aura will cause something much worse than fainting this time." Soel-Ah speaks up, "I already know that. For someone who knows that you've already twisted too many things. Is that your choice? Why? Do you think that's incomprehensible? No, I feel worse for you because I understand. And you, why did you hand over that important crystal of yours? And to a human you just met, at that. It's just a temporary infatuation. There's nothing lonelier than waiting for someone who never comes. I have also let thing go." Soel-Ah saw the snake gradually disappear, reaching out to the snake scale that was about to disappear, and exclaimed, "Fate is so cruel. Looking at you makes me forget such things. What a regretful man. He fears losing the second chance at life he gained." Soel-Ah with teary eyes, "To protect Mu Epsilon, Gu Yang Cheon." Another voice appeared in her mind, "Now, give it back." "Sorry, just a little longer. It's still dangerous." Then the guy who was following them came up with a surprised look. "You speak as if you knew it all along. Since when did you realize it? It's not hard to pick out the presence of an imbecile who does the Namgung clan's dirty work. Young brats like you, heading into the mountains and crawling into weird places like this. I can't believe our young master lost to a brat who got exhausted just from making the journey here. I've been ordered to take care of things quietly, so I'll let you off if you hand him over." Soel asked with intent to kill him. "Is this the will of the Namgung clan, or the will of that imbecile? Damn, his name is not for the likes of you too dirty. If that is what you wish for, then it is inevitable, if so." Before he finished speaking, a ray of light flew past him. When he looked back, his hand had fallen to the ground. He screamed in pain while Soel signaled for silence. "Be quiet, don't wear him up from his nap. Somewhere the moon is high in the sky. This is Cheonjin, seems to be angry about losing to Yang Cheon. Damn bastard, he must have used some cheap trick. If not, how could some imbecile defeat Mu Epsilon?" Suddenly his arm ached so much that he had to lie down. He called his guard, Machiel. "Yes, what do I need to do?" "The guard of the Gu clan is more powerful than we thought. We wouldn't have had time to take care of him. But for some reason, he's moving without his guard right now." His guard continued, "Now might be our chance." Cheonjin took off his cunning and gave orders to his guard. "I always trust you, Machiel. I know you'll bring me good news this time as well." "Young master, he is still a Gu clan person. How should we deal with him?" he said with an evil look on his face. Namgong Cheonjin's shoulder and that guy's life must be like that to be proportional? Scene changes back to Yang Cheon and Soel-Ah. "I do not have much time, so let's finish this." The guard immediately thought, "I must run away quickly while she's caught up with that brat. There is only one chance. I need to return to the clan to survive. I've never heard of such a monstrous woman." As if he had not finished his train of thought, he felt strange. "Why is the floor? When did I wanted to leave the first life this body takes up to your jurisdiction. But an intruder like me decided it. I apologize." Then the voice in her mind appeared again. "Give it back now, please. Sorry, it may seem selfish of me, but may I stay a little longer, just a tittle?" Then the voice got louder. "It's my body. Yes, you are right, even the present belongs to you." The snake exclaimed, "Can you go now?" I have to go to sleep. This body is too small, I'm too tired." The snake questioned her, "Do you know who you are?" Soul was silent for a moment and then replied, "I know a little. But the road ahead will be very difficult." "I know. So, hope your path ahead is filled with good luck. If there is a chance we will definitely meet again, Gu Yang Cheon." Then the light beside Soel-Ah gradually disappeared. A moment later Yang Cheon suddenly woke up. "You wake up, young master." He was startled to find himself no longer in the same place. Yang Cheon tells about meeting the white maple tree. While searching for treasure there was nothing. Then met a giant snake. Then he touched the strange crystal that the snake gave him, and suddenly absorbed it. "That's how it is, do you remember?" Soel replied dumbly, "Snake, crystal, did you have a dream? What are you talking about? I don't understand anything, can't remember anything." Yang Cheon confused then said, "Don't lie to me." But how is Soel supposed to believe that Soel found a white maple, talked to a giant snake, and gotten crystal? Who would believe that? Why is this the one time you choose to reason logically? So, who brought us here? I dunno. I woke up here. Suddenly, Yang Cheon felt pain in his stomach and let out a hurt voice. Soel speaks up, "Young master, I'm all right. My core is just aching." Soel in tears, "Does it hurt a lot?" Meanwhile Yang Cheon thought about his dantian. Then he start to feel it. As I thought, there has been a change in the amount of energy flowing in my body ever since I absorbed the orb. He clenched his hands and thought, this amount is almost enough to reach the 4th star. That means my memories aren't wrong. Did the snake move us and wipe Soel's memories? That would make the most sense. Soel, speak up. If it hurts, let's go back. I'm fine, but taking longer would only increase the length of Muyun's sermon. Then Yang Cheon sat down and said, go up. Soel didn't understand what he meant by asking, why? It'll take 2 hours if we walk, it's faster for me to carry you. Soel ate a lot yesterday. Yang Cheon said with a grumpy face, aren't you getting on? Soel looked apprehensive, but, then she go on, is Soel not heavy? You aren't light, that's for sure. Soel is getting off. With the flame will art at 3 stars and this overflowing energy. He used his strength in his legs to jump up high. His once heavy body was now as light as a feather. Then they soared high through the clouds while watching the sunrise of a new day. The scene changes back to Yang Cheon's guard. I haven't seen the young master for over a day. Is he okay? He better be safe, if not, my neck. Suddenly heard Yang Cheon's voice. Yo, we're here, get up. Muyun, what are you doing here? Young master. Where have you been? You've been gone without a word for a full day. He was embarrassed and could only apologize to get it over with. But I think we should focus on how I've come back safely, right? Muyun want to cry, I was worried about what might have happened to you. So, where have you been? Soel quick reply. The story is that the young master met a snake on the mountain. She had not finished her sentence when he interrupted her. She's going off again, we just went on a walk. What kind of walk? What happened to you? He doesn't know how to explain. Well, a stroke of fortune. Anyway, why do I sense 2 more people? He opened the door and saw Soel and Bayar eating in his room. Soel made a surprised face, while Bayar continued to eat her bowl of noodles. He spoke, Miss Soel, are you waiting for me and Miss Bayar? We promised not to bother each other anymore. Soen shyly replied, no, I'm not waiting for you. And Bayar, still trying to talk while eating, I am not bothering you. He felt a headache and said, so what are you 2 here for? Bayar spoke first, I have not said goodbye to you, I also came to say goodbye. Is the heir of the Namgungs also here? That would make things really bothersome. No, he didn't come. I told him I was going to you, but he said you wouldn't be back anyway. Then she stopped her chopsticks and said I have something to ask you. Why are you speaking to me so blankly? What has happened to your body? He avoided Bayar's gaze and spoke up. Well, something happened. Then, let's have a duel. Before she could finish speaking, he pretended to be tired with everyone. I feel like I'm going to faint from training too much, young master. Seeing the look in his eyes, he immediately understood. Immediately took Bayar and Soel out. I'm sorry, but you 2 must leave as the young master needs to rest. Wait, just one last thing. This is an invitation to next year's Tang Weapon exhibition, you can choose to come or not. He reply, alright, thank you, see you next year, when thought, probably not. Soel said with a shy face, I just want our families to be on good terms, so don't take it the wrong way. Then he closed the door. The 2 girls immediately started chatting. I was worried about that ugly guy, but I guess he's okay. Bayar just said yeah. Soel looked at Bayar. Saw her face brighten and started thinking. Hey, do you like the gu air? Bayar calmly replied to Soen's question. What do you mean by like? Soen was confused and didn't know how to answer. I mean, to like someone mean to. While Bayar still did not understand her meaning. She sighed, never mind. So Soel, what about my invitation? Sorry, I was going to give the invitation to Mr. Gu. I should have prepared 2 invitees. It's okay, good job. Thanks, you are the best. I'll make sure you're served delicious poison in return, let's go. At this moment, the Bayar's sight was filled with purple and black. Don't know why she feels scared because of this. She calmed herself down. It's alright, I can endure it. Then her face turned red. I think we're going to meet again soon, Gu Yang Cheon. The scene changes to a certain building. Changjin is kneeling down to someone right now. He told him, I just wanted you to watch out for your sister, yet you lost one of your guards, you fool. He thought, what's going on? Machiel didn't return. Does that mean he failed? Did he do it? Impossible, Machiel is a top-rate martial artist, so why isn't he coming back? Changjin, yes, father. The man with an angry look created lightning around him and said, "Do you know why I am disappointed in you? It is not that you lost to some nameless child, nor the fact that you used killing strikes in a sparring match. It is the fact that you couldn't clean up after yourself properly." Cheonjin could only kneel and feel oppressed by his pressure. "I shall not hold you at fault, but you should confine yourself to solitary training in the Jade Gold Gallery for a while." "Yes, father." He then stopped releasing his energy, making Cheonjin able to breathe easier. Then he thought and continued, "The Gu clan. Forget about this incident." Cheonjin surprised, "Father, what do you mean?" He glared at Cheonjin, making him feel scared, and said, "You will understand when you become the clan head. Do not touch the Gu clan until then. Moreover, we might end up becoming one family with them." "What? What do you mean?" While Yang Cheon was also surprised like that. "What did you just say? Did you not hear me? Your marriage partner has been arranged. I'm tired because I just came from Sichuan of finance. Are you kidding me? Didn't we just break our marriage agreement with the Peng clan too?" "Yes, and I heard it was because you were fucking around. So why is the guy who fucked around getting another fiancé? Do you intend to live alone your whole life? Why is this conversation going there? If not, just do it. This old man made the connection for you. Young master, you're getting a fiancé? You believe him? That demented old man is messing with us." Mu Yun hurriedly said, "Young master, I believe he's telling the truth." Yang Cheon's surprise. "What? Why is it true? I went to report on our travels in Sichuan, but the whole Jiu clan seems to already know about your new fiancé. A rumor about me that I don't know about." Then he think, "Shit. With what I did to Peng Arhi, the clans should have heard bad rumors about me. Despite that, they want me to get engaged with their kids? What crazy clan would do that?" Then he asked him, "What clan am I getting engaged to?" "No, who is it?" He smiled and said, "Don't be too surprised, kiddo. Nam Gung." "Well, I was going to tell you, but you already knew." Yang Cheon asked, "Just why would the Namgung clan want me to be engaged with their children? That must mean one of their daughters must have accepted getting engaged to Mu Epsilon as well. But don't the Namgungs only have one daughter?" "Yes, you might have met her at the Tang Weapons exhibition." Yang Cheon was stunned and then let out an "oh" sound. "Huh, I am engaged to that crazy woman?" Then he talked back, "Hey, why you say her crazy? She is your fiancé." "No, I absolutely do not accept. This is the family's decision. If you are dissatisfied, please report to the clan head, but there are more important matters. More important than this?" Then he grinned and said to him, "Your sister has returned to the palace." After hearing that, he felt like he was going to die, so he asked him again as if to confirm, "My sister?" Start with recalling by his voice. This is an era full of talent. They are like stars, more and more appear every day. You, who was born in such an age, veer born in the wrong era. You have talent, but it's strange, compared to your sister, it's worthless. Sword Peak, Jiu Wibby, my sister, who is also the owner of the talent and skill I could never hope to reach, that is why I hated her." After the thought he decided to run, but where? Anywhere far. Before he want to go, second elder grab his shoulder and ask, "Where do you think you are going?" "Second elder, could you just let me go this time?" But he don't want that. "What are you saying? Your sister is here, and I'm asking you to just let me off." "Huh, you are going to ignore your sister when she is here?" He replied in a lamenting voice, "I'll be gone for a few months, so don't find me. How am I supposed to face her when I don't know what she might do to me? Did you catch something in Sichuan? Why are you acting so immature? You make me want to knock you out. Then if you could just knock me out for one mo." Before he could finish speaking, he felt an aura approaching his direction. "She's coming here." Then he ordered him, "Mu Yun, block the door." Mu Yun was also startled and said with a bored face, "How am I supposed to block it? Use plank or something?" When Mu Yun finished placing a broom in there, also asked again to confirm, "But are you sure you can do this when your sister is coming?" But after him finish his word, behind the door, a voice is coming, "Your sister is coming, yet you want to block the door." Then saw the door explode. After this she appeared behind the smoke, with a fiery aura surrounding her. How rude, little brother. He also shocked when she do this much in the palace. After she waved and called him, "Brother," he could only answer, "Yes." She continued, "You need to greet your sister, don't you?" But he can only say hello to her. "I going to see you doing so well, but I see that your knees are upright." Of course they are. Then he realized and knelt down to her. "All right, good boy. It's been a while, elder," second elder said. "It's always good to see such friendly siblings," while Yang Cheon think, is he blind? It's nice to see you doing well. I heard you were doing a great job as the leader of the sword squad. She smiled back. You praise me too much. It's thanks to the hard work of the squad members. While he was thinking of how to escape from here, she suddenly called him, little brother. Yes. Do you know what you did wrong? I tried to block the door. And I tried to run? When she asked again, do you want to run? He knew he had misspoken when he said this reason, then he said another reason. Or is it because I defeated my other sister? Then Hwibi was a little surprised. You beat Yeonseo? If it wasn't for this reason, then what was the reason that made you upset? Your engagement. Why wasn't I the first one whom you told about getting engaged, and without my permission? He immediately explained, no, I heard about for the first time today, and why do I need permission from you to get engaged? She angry than before, you've grown to be able to talk back to me like that. He called for help from Moo-yeon, do something, help me. But when Moo-yeon tried to help him, Hwibi saw him like, if you dare to interrupt, I will kill you. Then only saw Moo-yeon with a scared look, you can do as you please. Then she gathered her strength to prepare to hit him. I guess I need to teach you manners again. Wait. Suddenly Soel-Ah walked over and grabbed Hwibi's hand. No. Both of them suddenly became dumbfounded and didn't know what to do. Hey, stay still, sis, this is my servant. She hasn't worked here for long, so she doesn't know. While Hwibi watched her and realized something, Soel-Ah continued, you can't hit the young master. Hwibi immediately let go of his head, then her aura suddenly flared up. He was also surprised when he saw that, then exclaimed, sister. Yang Cheon noticed his sister suddenly stop, and he asked curiously, sis. Then she started to ask him, little brother, who is this? He hurriedly explained, she's my servant, but she is new and made a mistake, so please, his voice earnest, hoping Hwibi wouldn't harm Soel-Ah. But to his surprise, Hwibi continued to gather her strength, preparing to strike Soel-Ah. At that moment, he rushed toward Hwibi, shouting, you are crazy, stop, hoping to stop her before she hurt Soel-Ah. Just as Soel-Ah braced herself for the hit, tightly closing her eyes in fear, she felt the intense heat of Hwibi's aura drawing closer. But to her surprise, instead of a strike, Hwibi only pinched her cheek. Soel-Ah, shocked by the unexpected gesture, opened her eyes wide, not sure how to react. Yang Cheon stood frozen, completely taken aback by Hwibi's unexpected action. He couldn't believe that instead of attacking, she had chosen such a playful gesture. After a moment of pinching Soel-Ah's cheeks, Hwibi exclaimed, her voice filled with surprise, her cheeks look so soft, and they actually live up to expectations. Yang Cheon sighed in relief and then asked her, man, you released that much energy just to grab her cheeks? Hwibi didn't respond to his question but instead replied, and you didn't tell me you had a servant like this. Hand her over, little brother. No, Yang Cheon immediately refused. How interesting, what do you mean? To think my dear brother, who normally gives his lovely sister everything, is refusing. She raised an eyebrow, clearly amused by the situation. What's so special about this servant that you're willing to stand up to me for her? Sorry. Was this done by you, elder? She asked, her gaze fixed on him as she sensed the 3-star energy radiating from him. He thought to himself, yeah, her noticing was inevitable. Second elder said, this old man do nothing, so he changed that much in a few months. She looked at him with an inquisitive expression, eager to interrogate him further. However, noticing the reluctance on his face, she decided not to pry any deeper into the matter. All right, go meet the clan head, huh? Are you done? I was planning on teaching you a lesson, but I am not in the mood anymore. Yang Cheon silently thanked the heavens for her letting him off the hook. Then, I'll be on my way. But just before he was about to leave, Hwibi tossed something at him. He saw it was an orb tied to a string. He picked it up to examine what it was and said, what is this? A demonic stone. I don't sense anything, though. Then he asked her, what is this? It is a souvenir. I bought it from a peddler saying it was a good luck charm. Keep it by your side. I will be mad if you don't. And he think, so it's junk. She walked up to him and said, if you lose it because you think it's dingy. Then she made a threatening face at him, I might have to get more lovely with you, while tightly gripping his shoulders. He on this side could only tremble under her strength while trying to answer, yes. Then she pulled back and smiled at Yang Cheon, I knew you were working hard. This image reminds him of the last time he saw her before his reincarnation, little brother, stay happy. He didn't know what to say at that moment, then could only say yeah. After his group left, only the second elder and Hwibi remained. She spoke first. You really didn't do anything, second elder. I said this old man was innocent, he said while whistling. Then she fell into deep thought. Last winter, he was only at the proficiency of 1st star. Compared to Yeonseo, he wasn't able to release here, much less move properly, but now. His energy arts have stabilized, his chi has more than doubled and his body is trained. When I heard that Yeonseo was undergoing solitary training after losing to Yang Cheon, I had my suspicions. But how did he get there so fast? While she was still wondering, the second elder spoke up, "Isn't it amazing?" I was surprised as well. I had no clue that child had that much potential. What do you think happened? Why didn't you ask? I could tell that he wouldn't explain it to me, so I didn't bother, but he might if his sister asks. Then she explained, "He's my brother. With how long I have known him, I can tell by his eyes, if you say so." Oh, speaking of noting. That servant, did you notice it as well? Second elder started sweating. Well, what about her? I asked because I was wondering if I was the only one who noticed something off. She said while the second elder remained silent. I was not sure, so I inspected her, but she was just chubby. The second elder began to worry and sweat more. This old man thinks you might just be too sensitive. That child is just a servant. Oh, I guess so. After fighting demonic beasts for months, I might just be overreacting to nothing. And the second elder thought, she felt that, both you and Yang Cheon truly have fearsome potential. Then he placed his hand on Hwibi's head and explained, with even those connected by blood turning their backs, and the whole clan set against Yang Cheon. I'm grateful to you for taking care of him, he said with a smile in his voice. I have no worries with you here. Somebody's gotta take care of my stupid brother. But you should be a little kinder. Isn't getting mad at him over an engagement too much? You'd think you were actually mad at him for getting engaged. Oh, about his new fiancé. The sparks around her start flying. Then it flared up even bigger. What whore dared to tough my brother? As for second elder, I guess you aren't quite normal either. Scene changes to clan head's room where Yang Cheon's father and him are meeting. I heard you broke the arm of the lightning dragon. He didn't dare look straight and answer. Well, I didn't break it, I just did a little tap. Then both of them fell into an unusual silence. At this moment, Yang Cheon was facing his father, Gu Keelan. He drank a glass of water and then began to speak. Why did you break Namgong's arm? Yang Cheon looked at him with a worried expression but thought to himself, it doesn't look like you just wanted to ask. He sighed and began to explain. Namgong Chongjin challenged me to a match, and I accepted it. But during the match he clearly showed his intention to kill, so I responded like that. Using all the killing intent, are you sure? He immediately replied, yes, there were many people around. He thought for a while then said, it seems you have achieved something in your duel. That's good, keep at it. Yes. Then he closed his eyes again and began to ponder in his own world. He defeated the lightning dragon who had reached 3-star, but his expression wasn't very happy. Maybe it was his habit. Then he continued to say to him, if you had a conflict with the Namgong clan, so you must have met your fiancé first. His words also surprised him. He wondered, how did things turn out like this? What was meant to be? He thought as he clenched his fists. Then he asked him, about the engagement with Namgong clan? I would like to ask how it went. He immediately took out a piece of paper and said, that's what the elders decided, it won't be bad for you. And he just denied it. I thought it was very bad. Then he emphasized and continued, the breaking off of the engagement with the Peng clan was unavoidable. I don't think this will ruin things. After hearing this, he also felt that it was difficult to escape anymore. That means there's no second chance. Even if I want to refuse, it's basically my fault about the Peng family, so I wouldn't be in a position to refuse. I messed up. At this moment, he opened the paper and took it out. Summer will be here soon. Yang Cheon wondered, summer, so what are you trying to say? The battle for supremacy will begin on Mount Hwasan. Hearing him mention it, Yang Cheon immediately remembered the scene of the massacre there and broke out in a sweat. What do you mean? At this moment he handed the paper to him, his heart was still full of questions. Then he opened it and saw what inside. Then he asked, so what do you want me to do? He simply replied, bring it. What? Me? We will prepare for departure in 10 days. I'm sorry, but I just came back from Sichuan today. It's fine if you refuse. Hearing that he immediately happily replied, then I won't go. But before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted. Instead, if you go, I will give you to send in from the clan treasury. When Yang Cheon is struggling to talk with his father, Muyun and Soel-Ah are outside eating something. When will the young master come out? Isn't it about an hour for a conversation with the clan's head? We just came back from long trip. Soel-Ah so tired. Me too. But we are guard and servant of young master. We will need to follow young master at all times. Then, isn't it wrong to hide and eat like this? That's right. If you get caught, the two of them are talking to each other without knowing that Yang Cheon is right behind them. He immediately asked them, What are you doing? Let's go. At which point Muyun's face went blank. When Muyun was about to explain to him, he immediately said, you both need to prepare because we have to go to Wazan Mountain in 10 days. Huh, yes, young master, and Soar now shows a weary expression. Soar has to go again. It's annoying. He ignores Soar's words and continue. It's something the clan's head told you to do. If you have a problem with it, tell it to the clan's head. Muyun immediately asked him, is there something happened this time? He was silent while still holding that piece of paper. He told me to bring the youngest. Now that he had returned to his mansion, he was lurking outside the door, then looking around as if checking for something, and we know what he wants to check right. He feel relief, the second elder and his sister, are all gone. He started whining, those Namgung bastards in Sichuan, and my sister came back when I got home, I thought it was over. Now this time, he told me to go to Mount Wazan and bring back the youngest. After entering the room he jumped into bed even though it was only evening. Whatever, I'm just going to sleep all day today. The scene turned dark. The moon was high in the sky. At this time our main character is still sleeping soundly. Then suddenly someone was standing right next to his bed. Then the person spoke up. Dumplings. He heard the sound and was half awake and half asleep at this moment. Then that person immediately put hand around his neck and held his head, causing him to scream. When he looked back, he realized it was his sister. Do you think it makes sense to skip dinner at your age? He kept screaming while she kept stuffing dumplings into his mouth. Eat it, chew it carefully, and he still tried to say something to her while struggling. After a while, he pulled out of her arms and spoke. Sister, why are you here? Why I can't be here? Yes, you can't. This is my room. Then it's also my room, isn't it? Did you drunk? You are talking nonsense. She immediately took out a bottle of wine for him to see. I'm going to drink now. What with this human? I was worried that you wouldn't show up for dinner, so I even brought dumplings for you. Are you going to treat me like this? Especially, I am so sad because of my younger brother's engagement with the Namgong girl. After hearing this he immediately choked. Why are you suddenly bringing this up? You are so happy that make you choke, huh? More than your older sister? Save that nonsense for later because you've had a few drinks. She continued drinking and said, damn it, Yang Cheon, how did I raise you? Can't you drink that outside instead of passing out here? What are you talking about? Tonight, you will be sleeping with your older sister, she said with a proud look as if she had won over his fiancé, and he calmly replied, then you can sleep here and I will sleep outside. You are heartless bastard. What are we going to sleep together at this age? You are still just a kid to me. It does seem that what to me. Then she raised the wine bag high to drain it. Then with a satisfied look, wah, it's a good drink, and he's still as calm as before. And you will leave once you finish that. She sat there, absent-mindedly looking up at the moon tonight. The beautiful moon with countless stars around it was so perfect. She immediately called him, brother, yes. Should you have a duel with sister?